Hello, sorry I'm late. Oh, my camera's not working. That's always a great start. Okay, 1 second. Oh, that one. Camera, come back to me. No. I'm a disaster today. Give me a second, guys. Let me figure out why this camera won't work. Turn that off. Camera. Oh, hang on. No. There we go. Success. We've managed to make the camera work. I'm not totally useless. Let's get that sorted there. Oh, sorry guys. I was recording a collaboration with Deadwood. It ran over, as all things do. And he unfortunately had to schedule it slap bang in the middle of our stream schedule, which, you know, I understand it's for people trying to schedule their times. So it's totally understandable, especially when, you know, we've got international time zones. It's fine. But it does mean that the stream is late. So we're finally doing it tonight. We're looking at Finite Hard. We're finally looking at Finite Hard. Oh, yeah, we're only 2 hours late. Well, an hour and a half. So I am late normally, not this late though. Right then, let's see how many pieces from this 100 Fire Knight runs we've done we keep, shall we? Anyone want to guess in chat how many we're going to keep? And there's one we've kept so far. Not that one. This one maybe? Oh, it's not bad. There's 2. Yeah, I'm running Finite, but we're going to be looking at Finite Hard today. We're going to be seeing if we can do it. Now, I don't have a Cardiel, but I do have an unused Razelvarg. We do have Varric in the Fats. We do have, you know, Longbeards. We do have Gnut. We do have Yakals. We do have options. So we're going to be looking at that. Let's see, sell, all of these sell 6, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Nope. Let's just say I discovered today, the reason why I'm a little bit later is because I totally didn't realize that we were doing auto Hydra. So I'm petitioning the community for a not full auto. You know. I'm just replying to someone's hack. So yeah, it won't actually take that long though, Kessel, because what you've got to remember, we don't have legendaries. Right, so this, like, for example, Night Revenant has no AoE decrease speed apart from Executioner, and I'm not going to use Executioner because he's useless. So in reality, the enrage mechanics you can't bypass, so it's not actually going to take that long. If we look back a year ago when they did the faction games last time, no one's run went longer than 25 minutes. It was only in the recent one that it went really, really long, but then that was giving them access to loads of different champions, right? They could draft what they wanted, which is different. There's no Duchess to keep the team alive here. There's no Krisk. There's nothing like that. So it's not actually going to take that long. I'd be surprised if my team lasts longer than 25 minutes. But I can tell you straight away that if we can't, like, I'm pretty confident, and if I can't manual it, I'll probably lose. Because I don't have an AoE HP burn. And I know Whisper's AI will use A3 when there are no debuffs up, which means I lose a guaranteed extra turn, which means she's going to A2 probably a Poison Cloud head when I would rather A1. She isn't going to A1 first to set up her A2. And all these different things means that the majority of my damage, which is going to be indexed into Whisper, is out the window. So it's a pretty big deal, and I'm not trying to make it all about me or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a pretty big deal if you have to auto this, because I can't control it well. I can control the target, but I can't control the skill usage. And that is, like, for a champion like Whisper, it will kill her. It will kill her viability. You know, how many times on stream have we sat here going, I just need the right setup, waiting for that dead head. When Whisper gets a turn, all of a sudden we get lots of damage. But then when we don't get those turns, Whisper's just doing nothing. It's such a feast or famine kind of situation. So, yeah, execution is useless. Because all he's going to do is a baby decrease speed. I haven't got space in the team for that. We'll be doing it on hard. So, how many days will a Whisper 6 start? A long time. So, you know, as I said, I've just said to Deadwood now, look, all I'm saying is, can we put it to a discussion amongst the competitors to come to a consensus? My argument is, if we're going to be full auto in Hydra, then arena offenses need to be full auto as well. Same concept. I'm not picky about it. I'm just saying, if we're applying one rule for one person, then we should apply the rule to all of them, right? It's not fair that arguably the hardest contest, the one we can't control. Because you need so much in this one team that you can't, like, get from legendary champions, right? There's no champion that can do it all. So you actually have to, like, piece together enough to be able to make it work. You're welcome, Kingston. I don't know. I'm probably just a bit like, it's probably caught me off guard, and maybe I'm just overreacting a little bit, but I was totally under the impression that I could manual. And if I can't if I can't manual, like, I'm dreading it. I really am. You know, I don't have the security blanket of an AoE HP burn, right? I just don't have that. Yeah, I read the rules. Basically, I thought we were discussing when you can't reroll. I didn't realize we were discussing, like, you can't go manual. I had no idea. It's my own fault. I should have read the rules more. Then again, I was doing like 501 things at once, so... We've kept a fair few pieces here, actually. It's surprising. All flat start. Okay, so out of 100 runs, we've kept 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's not bad. Get more of the dungeon divers done. Getting close to our third primal shard for tomorrow. We're going to have probably 4 by the end of it, because I will likely win this tournament. Look, there's no way these guys aren't going to be able to compete with me. Yeah, I don't have block buffs AoE. You know, most people who run full auto Hydras, we're talking, you know, you're probably Nekmothars or backed up by a Duchess Krisk, right? You can put it on full auto because even if things go wrong, there's some sort of security blanket. It's very hard if you think about it. I've got to go full auto without AoE block buffs, without decreased speed, without AoE HP burn, without consistent provoke. You know, it basically, it would force me to a position where I would have to pick someone like Sinacia. Sure, you can click for different things, but I'll be honest, if I'm clicking for things, why can't I manual it? Like, yeah, as I said, look, if we're going to go full auto, then Arena should be full auto. So that the whole competition is full auto. I don't have, but I have Torment odd one. right? So I have to deal with Torment Heads pretty much. And the thing about hard is you're more likely to get the same head back, right? I think it's like a 50% chance on hard. So it's more likely. It kind of sucks a little bit for MTG Jedi because he'd want the Torment Head. But I'm not going to get an advantage from having Torment Head, right? It doesn't benefit me at all. It would benefit Sacred Order to get a Torment Head because it's got Shamael. It's not going to benefit me to have it. It's going to force me down a path to actually deal with it, if anything. So yeah, I mean... didn't they say 3 months, no primal shard event? I don't think they said that. What they specifically said is they wouldn't be giving mythical champion boosts, which they haven't done in technicality. Technically, mythical champions haven't had a boost. They've just boosted the odds of getting a legendary or epic from a primal shard. It's kind of like a bit of a, you know, sure, the details, you're correct, but in spirit, you're not really. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, I haven't used any targeting. I just let it auto. Like, in hindsight, in Dragon, I should have probably targeted it, right? Because sometimes she will... Whisper would have used, like, you know, A1, A3 on a champion that's almost about to die instead of targeting the champion that she could one-shot. I may have been able to save myself 20 seconds in Dragon if I'd used that, but I'm not complaining about that. I don't mind that, to be honest. It's just, for me, I actually think part of the enjoyment of watching Hydra is actually learning what's happening in the fight. Whenever I do Hydra on this stream, I'm always talking about why I'm doing something as a decision. Yeah, I don't know why this is creepy. Let me turn that down a bit. You know, so I'm always talking about why I'm using this skill in this particular reason, why I'm using this champion, what this champion does. Because ultimately, there's no value in me just pressing auto, because what do you learn? Like, we can have a chat about things. But what I'm trying to do when I'm doing Hydra is to help everyone watching understand what's going on. And as a result, then you guys have a better understanding of how Hydra works. And you might come up with ideas based off what I'm doing that you didn't think about. Or maybe you're impressed by the champion that I'm using, the way that I'm using it, and you go and try and do it yourself. If I just press full auto on how Hydra runs, then all you're interested in is what I have to say, not actually what's going on the screen. So yeah, I mean... Yeah, you have to manually, right? I was helping, I was walking through, like, the Trunda team with YST. And he was there for, like, an hour and a half. But he did do a lot of damage with it, but he was there for such a long time because he was having to manual it. Because obviously you've got to decide when you want to use your resets, right? Yeah, it's epic only. It's the thing. It's if I had access to the full faction, then I'd be more comfortable doing... doing full auto. It's very loud. Let me turn that down. Right? If I had access to all of this faction, if I could use, like, my Shemnath, my Theodore, Tomb Lord, Whirlim, Dreng, I would actually be much more happier going full auto. Because I got Mother Sibel, right? I got champions that can actually make it full auto friendly. But not having these champions makes this an absolute horrific task to make this full auto. You know, because... Unless I'm going to be clicking like mad to make it go where I want it to go, which just sounds awful to me. We'll see what they say. Anyway, I put it to the consensus. I don't want to create a scene. That's not what I'm here for. But at the same time, I just feel like it devalues the event a little bit, and it puts me in a really... It's not that it puts me in a really difficult position. It just, like, if you think... You know, Victor Test's got Akoth, and he's got Magnak spread burns, right? He's got 100% block buffs. He's got a provoke that's 100% chance, right? He's got much more reliable, consistent, regular things happening. He hasn't got as much damage as me. He's got other challenges. I'm not saying it's an easy ride for Victor. He's got no Torment solution, right? So if Torment Head comes out, Victor Test is in real big trouble. He's really going to struggle. And likewise, Odd One's basically got... not Odd One, MTG Jedi, sorry. Sorry, Odd One. He's got Aniri, Shamael, Mordecai, Deacon. It's pretty much a starter... It's a starter kit for Hydra. You know, obviously he's got to find damage from somewhere. Like, it's, you know, if he's using Shamael and these buffs, there is issues that he has as well. But he's got an easy Torment solution. He's got a Reviver that's just going to revive naturally. He's got Termite to control. He's got an AoE HP burn. I'm pretty sure somewhere in here there's probably an AoE decrease speed. Maybe not. I haven't really looked. He's even got this champion, look. 2 turn, 75% chance to provoke. You know, it's like, that's brilliant. Is he a bit one-dimensional? Sure, but at least it's a consistent, reliable provoke. I don't, like, the best provoke that I have in my faction is Deathless. It's a 3-turn cooldown. 100% chance to provoke. It's the best option that I've got. I do have Bergoth, but it's like a 4-turn cooldown. If it lands, it's great, but it's not a 100% chance. If this was a 100% chance, it would be really good, but it's not. So, and I think I've also got like the Buckethead. He's got like a 40% chance on an A1, which is okay again, but again, it's not that reliable or regular. And his base speed is awful, right? It's just terrible, so. Let me just restart the game a second because it's lagging for me big time. You bought a pile of silver for 400 gems. Oh, no. That's awful. It'll be played on hard, Darky. But anyway, I'm not going to complain anymore. It's kind of crazy. What news is going on here? Primal summoning boost. Isn't it kind of crazy they just randomly did a guaranteed seer? Didn't tell anyone about it. Just randomly put it in there. So, I mean, I don't really know how he struggled on Ice Golem because I'm looking at it. I'm going, well, I've got Fenax, so I can go full damage, block, revive. Okay, I got to auto it, so it's a little bit awkward, but I can manage that because I've got Godseeker and Eerie. We've got people like which one's the decrease attack champion? I forget. Is it Sanguinia? One of these is decrease attack. I forget which one it is. Is it Carlinia? Yeah, Carlinia, look. Decrease attack option. Because all you really need for Ice Golem is AoE decrease attack and then either kill the allies or poison it out. I know his poison options weren't great. He's got Juliana, which is only a single one, and she's not going to do it on the thing. But you could target the boss with that and just basically stay alive with a high resist. I guess he probably struggled a little bit because he hasn't got like a Frozen Banshee style poisoner. But it should be fine with like a Godseeker and Eerie Light Swan kind of combo. You know, I mean, it's got such a good pool of epic champions to use. I wouldn't have used Talia if I'm being honest. I know she's got wave clear, but I would have preferred to use something like a Fenax and just take them out one by one, or like a Bushi, you know, to basically just take out the waves one by one with a good amount of like turn me to control or something. But it's hard, I guess. Like Purgator's a very good wave clear champion if you can get some debuffs on him. Obviously, it's very difficult to do. He also had like Outlaw Monk. Like, you probably could have made like a super tanky Outlaw Monk and just soloed the boss down if the affinity worked. I don't know what affinity Ice Golem 25 is. Yeah, so he would have been strong affinity with Outlaw Monk. So he probably could have used an Outlaw Monk as a poisoner, because that's a pretty good one. 3-turn cooldown, you get 2 turns. It's probably better than Juliana, I'd have thought. Just poisoned it out. Yeah, the only problem with Aotha is it's random. It's great if you can kill the 2 allies, but if you can't, then you don't get a lot of poisons out. But this does hit really hard. So if you use this to set up Fenax, and then Fenax can one-shot with the A1, you could just block revive the allies. And once the allies are block revived, then you're good to go. You can go ham. It's only when there's allies that come back that you can't really die. Oh yeah, Fenax is the wrong affinity. I forgot that. Affinity has had a massive impact in this competition. You saw Scratch was really struggling today with Affinity. I think, who else was struggling with Affinity? I think all the Dragon teams were struggling with Affinity because of poisons, you know. I'm lucky to some extent because Whisper's not a Void champion and there's a lot of powerful Void champions in the Night Rev, so I can get around Affinity a little bit easier. But yeah, you could have used Outlaw Monk, I guess. Or were they? I didn't think they were. Let's have a look. Dungeons, Ice Golem, Peak, Stage 25 normal. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, so he could have used Fenax. He absolutely could have used Fenax on the boss, yeah. It's a good point, Acrobat. Yeah. Oh, it's apple juice, actually. My throat was a bit dry, so... Yeah, I mean... They snuck it in. It's great that they do it, but they haven't given you any warning. Then they're like saying, oh, say it's worth $100, is it? No, it's not. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but... Live Arena's open. We gotta blast some Live Arena. I need some area bonuses. It's on hard difficulty, crazy. So it's not on the highest difficulty. So that's, it's good. But as I said, we'll see what the guys come back with, see what the consensus is. It's just I just didn't realize what's going on. There was no warning about Allure and Godseeker either, I think. No, probably not. They're not really reading the room, are they? People want better communication from them, and they just continue to give us worse communication and do random things which, make no sense whatsoever. Oh, come on, don't be slow picking your champions. That and that. I pretty much have the same team that I pick here now. Pretty much. You're going to be done with my refill. I totally forgot about that. Thank you so much, Jessica. It's a real big deal. It saves me a lot. Did you have any idea of using Wukong as a nuker? I think he's good at it. But I actually think... I actually think he's better as a control champion. I think he can do the nuking job absolutely fine. His A2 is strong enough. I just think you get more value out of him by using him as a debuffer than a DPS. Like you'll see here, if I get good turn meter control, which I do, like I can just take him out of the fight. That's awkward, but if I can cut in with the Wukong, yes I can. Cool, I can drop turn meter. And this would not have been possible. I mean, I don't know if I can actually do anything. I need to AoE, basically. I think I'm fine. This wouldn't have been possible if Ultimate Death Knight was up, right? So I think he has more value for me as a straight debuffer, because he just gives my Fenax access to block buffs constantly. He gives me the ability to stop a... Just kill it again. He actually made a mistake. He shouldn't have revived. Only downside is I've got to try and kill this. Just kill him again. He's running out of HP. He shouldn't have revived the Wukong. Should have let it revive, you know? Oh, it's not fitting in the frame. Okay, hang on. Let me just deal with this a second. Killing the Wukong's a bit of a pain in the backside. There you go. Sorry about that. Can we just kill? The only thing is we're weak affinity here. We are going to be doing finite hard. I need to do live arena for finite hard. That's the plan. Oh, for God's sake. Constantly killing this Wukong. Here we go. We've won now. I don't know why he's continuing this expedition. Oy vey. Maybe we haven't won. Yeah, we have. Poor Wukong can never get a turn. Here we go. Yeah, I just think he has more value as a debuffer. Because he basically allows me to run 2 fast champions, and I can also mimic it. People don't know whether your Wukong is DPS or something. They should know because I'm picking 2 damage dealers, but Wukong. The thing about Wukong is, and this is what I said when he came out, if you don't have an Archbishop and you don't have a Tuhanarak and you don't have a Supreme Garlic and you don't have an Ugo, there isn't a better option for block buffs because he's going to be able to steal all the buffs, so you always get that block buffs. It's on a low cooldown, it didn't require books, and you got some singular target damage as well. So if you needed to get someone out of a head quickly, the A2 is pretty good at dealing damage to a Suffering Head. Because the Suffering Head's got a lot of defense, he can ignore 50% of that defense, so it does work, especially if you have the area bonuses and you layer them on. That's like 70% ignore defense. Put in a Savage Cruel. If you basically have... I'm probably going to do a video on this. What do I need to ban here? Probably the... I mean, if I ban the Warlords probably the fastest. Take that out. I'm probably going to be doing a video on the value of ignore defense in area bonuses, because I actually have not put enough credence to the strength of them and what you can actually do with these area bonuses. Because, like, for example, it's ignore 50% defense, right? The A2. Yeah? This, it ignores 50% defense. So you have 50%, area bonus gives you 20, that gets you to 70%. If you put him on Savage Cruel, his A2 does true damage. Now, because his A2 does true damage, it means that you can run... Yeah. Hopefully we get to... We didn't get to take a turn before... That sucks. It's fine. Just smack this for some damage. Does everyone have counterattack? Strip the buffs. We might lose here because I don't have the Necret. And I needed to go before the Duchess. I haven't locked it out, so the A2 is going to come in. It's going to kill my nukers. Oh, we didn't kill her. Oh, okay, we got a chance. But yeah, if you stack them up, you're actually doing true damage, which means on the Suffering Head, his A2 will guarantee pretty much that you get your champion back. Almost guarantee it. The only downside here is I think I'll be fine. Kill her off. I'm going to put him back to sheep because I need to wait for the block buffs. So that's not a problem because I can instantly sheep this in a minute. Well, how's he got an extra turn? That's cheating. Oh my god, he didn't get another A2. Thank the Lord. Put him back to sheep. Oh, we resist it. We 3%ed. Oh, we could lose because of that. We're going to lose because of 3%. We're going to lose because of a 3%. Oh, that's so infuriating. We lost because of a 3%. Because if that, we sheeped him, we've had enough. We got like 600 accuracy on him. We lost to 3%. Because what would have happened there, I would have sheeped him, then I would have killed the Necret, then I would have revived my Vlad, then I would have locked him down and I would have won. Oh, that's infuriating. Any reason why you're not going for Constantine instead of Phenax? Phenax is faster. He's got about 40 more speed. Also, Phenax's A1 is a little bit stronger than Constantine's. And Phenax doesn't have any faction condition. I know with Vlad it doesn't, but I'm preferring him at the moment because he's just built faster. I might have to rebuild my Constantine to be faster. But Constantine's base attack is actually quite low, which is a bit of a problem. It's not block debuffs, he resisted. He 3%ed. Oh, I'm going to lose this one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this one. Because his Kaimar's going to be too fast. So I have to grind area bonuses, so that's why I'm doing live arena. Oh, we're faster. Okay. Okay. I mean, doesn't help. It's probably a wrong decision, but nothing I can do is going to make this work. Because if I did sleep the Warlord, the Kaimar, I wouldn't have got a turn before Warlord. He would have dropped my turn meter. If I didn't sleep the Kaimar, then I'm going to get slept. This is just going to A3. The only chance I've got... Why didn't you A3? I'm going to win now. Why didn't you A3? I'm so... Why didn't you A3? What? I'm going to win now. They do realize I'm about to win. Like, why didn't you A3? Why didn't you A3 with Trunda? What were you waiting for? It's very strange. I don't understand why. Right. Maybe it was a misclick, yeah. It's been a lot of time though. I was just sitting there thinking, well, the A3 is going to come in and then I'm going to lose my 2 DPSs. So, yeah, I just realized the value of having good area bonuses for Fire Knight. So I'm trying to, like, get some area bonuses into Fire Knight. I'm just like, you know. But this is why I think he's better as a debuffer, because he just gives you so much control. He can basically permanently lock a champion out once you hit a certain speed threshold if the enemy doesn't have turn meter control. I'm probably going to have to ban the Helicath. The only risk here is if I don't ban the Helicath and they don't ban my sheep, my monkey, I'm okay. Because monkey's a direct counter to Helicath. The problem is I can't trust that he won't ban my monkey. So I have to ban the Helicath because if I don't have the monkey, I can't strip it. Now, I could have avoided that, taken out one of the DPSs and won. As it is, I couldn't, but I will get turn meter priority over these. So I can make a choice here, depending on how fast they are. We'll have a look now. So I'm faster than the Stultus and the Trunda and the Pythian. So if I do this, I stole the Stone Skin. That's great. He can't use his Duchess A2, which means I have full access to their abilities. I have to do probably an A2 to slow down the nukers, because I knew that was going to come in like this as a cleanse. So I can't stop the cleanse, but I can then instantly just one-shot the Trunda, then sheep this. And this is where Monkey now is going to be really strong. He can't use his Stultus. He's never going to be able to, because I'm going to be able to permanently keep sheeping him. He hasn't got increased speed. His Stultus is not going to be fast. So I can just permanently stun him. He's not going to be able to use Stultus. And eventually my Phalanx is going to get a turn. And then I'm going to one-shot him, like now. And he's lost. That's why I believe personally that Wukong is just way stronger as a control champion. Because without Wukong, I can't do all the things that I'm doing here. He enables my team to actually be able to get around the fact that I don't have lockout, so I don't have like Kaimars, I don't have like the Taras, the Sifis, the Rotuses of the world, right? He allows me the ability to counter those teams. So what's my Phalanx in? My Phalanx is in lethal gear. He's full damage lethal. Do area bonuses have to be opened with bronze medals, or can silver be used? Pretty much you ignore... The only thing that matters about medals is gold. Because you get out of bronze so quickly, you'll be using silver medals for bronze upgrades pretty much instantly. I think I worked it out, some like only 3% of the total area bonuses will ever be upgraded with bronze medals. Like your 3% of your bronze upgrades will only ever be used with bronze medals. The only real blocker is getting gold upgrades with gold medals, because you have to be in gold for that. But otherwise, you ignore pretty much all the mechanics about the medal colors. For the optimizer with area bonuses, when I find an optimize team, do those stats take into account? Yeah, so when you look at a team in team suggestions, that will already include the area bonuses in their stats. if they had them, right? It's basically the stats the person ran in the battle with all of their bonuses and effects into play. What masteries did you give your monkey? Full accuracy debuff masteries. I'll show it to you after we finish live arena. Mithrala is a bit of a problem, but we have to take out the turn boost. Hopefully they don't ban the monkey. The team falls apart if they ban the monkey a little bit. I can normally get away with Necret being lost if I can control it quickly. But the only thing that stresses me here is the Mithrala Hex. How many live arena are you doing? I'm probably going to be spending more gems on it. Basically, I want to fully max out Ignore Defense and Finite. So that's going to take me like probably about 2 weeks. If I do it freebie. If I spend a bit of gems, I can do it quicker. Like here, for example, I can look at turn meter control and I can see pretty much I'm going to win. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the Pythian turn meter. So the cleanse is going to come in. I can drop the turn meter, but it does activate him, which is what I was afraid of. So now I'm probably going to lose because I'm going to A3 my 2 DPSs. I made a mistake. I should have A2'd. Here we go. The value of having Rotus. Why didn't you kill my... Alright. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm going to lose anyway. Surprised he just didn't kill my... Because he's going to AoE. Should do. Should do. Should do. Okay. Not really sure why we didn't kill the Vladimir. Because now I want to get rid of you. Now I want to do this. Now I want to do that. Why didn't he just kill the Vladimir? Is Quintus worth it? PvE-wise, I think, not for PvP. Why would you use Quintus when you can use Taras, right? I mean, that's the methodology. This is what I don't like. I actually can't do anything with this Hex. Alright, that counterattack hurt. So I have a revive now. Hey, Martin. Is Blood Gorge any good? Blood Gorge's multipliers are just not good enough. You're better off running Fenax, you know? Petrification. Petrification. This is what I don't like about Mithrala. I can't do anything with Petrification. Oh, we can take some buffs here. My Fenax is dead. Why isn't he reviving the Leorius? I didn't block revive the Leorius. I don't really understand what he's doing. Rotus I can't deal with in this team. Rotus is just going to win this matchup because he's healing too much. I had to get in there early and kill him off. His Rotus seems to have a counterattack every single time I tickle him as well. Does the optimizer show if the person has ignored their defense? I don't actually know. I need to check that one. Go to sleep. Stay asleep. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to keep my Duchess alive. Oh, nice. I killed the Mithrala. I shouldn't have A2'd there. I should not have A2'd. I shouldn't have A2'd. It killed me with Smite. I mean, you can just revive, surely. Surely he's just going to revive, right? He's got to revive, surely. Surely he... yeah, I was going to say. The only hope is I can instantly respond with a kill. Oh, come on. Come on. Why did it wake him from the stun? Oh, for the love of all that is real, I'm getting 3% into hell and back tonight. Stupid Rotus passive. Stupid Rotus passive. You can't steal Veil. You can remove Veil, but you can't steal it. It's just Rotus. Yeah, it's Rotus. It's the value of having someone like Rotus and Leorius, where you just don't need anyone to keep them alive. I need the Necret to keep my DPS alive. I mean, technically Taras is more OP because he brings more damage profile than... like, Taras has a bigger damage profile than Rotus. Rotus is completely single target, whereas Taras is an AoE cannon, constant counterattacking, constant turn meter boosting, constant damage reduction, constant damage increase. Like, there's no question that Taras is stronger than Rotus. Taras doesn't have any affinity issues. Rotus can't really kill force-based champions. It's just... I got unlucky, unfortunately. I'm not going to win this one either because they've got Kimmy. The only way I win this one is if I can outspeed their Kimmy. I'm guessing his Wukong is going to be built for debuff as well. So I'll not use it Ultimate Death Knight. Oh, they're really slow, actually. Right, we're going to have to RNG it. Don't weak it. Nice. Vlad, hopefully, is going to take a turn before Wukong, which means drop the turn meter and kill them all. Woohoo. That was all about if I was faster. If I was slower than Lady Kimmy, I would have lost that one. Yeah, force-based champions are very difficult for Rotus to kill. It's not for Taras, right? So there is just really no question about it. Yeah, I'm worried, Martin. I'm close, right? If you think I'm within 40 points of gold. So I'm going to start getting gold champions now. So it's like gold teams, and I'm a bit worried. You know, because as much as people say, oh, you've got Necret, you've got Duchess, this is, you know, what you complain about not having a meta champions, and you've got these, like, Duchess and Necret is nowhere near top meta anymore. You know, there's no, like, if you saw Hellhades' video the other day, you know, Drock's account. Yeah, like, they've got +4s, 6-star fully awakened champions. Okay, yes, that's an extreme example because he's like top 20 player in the game. But the majority of people in gold are running around with Tarases. They're running around with, like, you know, +6 Duchesses and, you know, +4 champ. I don't even have a single lockout champion. Right? I don't have an option to run a Yumiko Warlord or what's the other one? Kaimar. Which is what you normally need, at least one of them. Like here, for example. I can probably ban the Kaimar. Hope they doesn't ban the monkey. If he bans the monkey, it's an aura mismatch against... Yeah, I've lost this one now. This one's going to lose because Romantu is going to take a turn before I can take a turn. He's going to lock out my passive abilities, which means the Necret shield is not going to apply, and then Baron is going to one-shot my team. So the only hope I've got is reaction and counterattacks. If I can get lucky and my Phoenix can counterattack, then I can win. If my Phoenix doesn't counterattack, I lose. I could use a Basher, but I mean, let's face it, the Basher is going to get banned. Game. 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 Hello? Is it going to load? Is it dead? Oh, there we go. Took us a while. I guess it crashed for him. Oh well, we'll take that as a free win. Is Vlad better for nuking than Leo? No. The only reason why I'm using Vlad is because I got a 5-star soul. So the life harvest is very advantageous. It gives me a lot of power. The soul does. Again, the majority of the case, like, people that are in chat are saying it correctly. My team is going to get harder in live arena when I get to gold because I don't have the ability to pick the opposing champions, right? I can't pick a lockout, nor can I pick it to stop the enemy from getting a lockout. So when you're in those situations, you're like, okay, well, how do I actually, like, you know, what happens if they pick the Necret? Well, now my team can't work, right? There's also a team positioning issue because actually, if you see, I'm always picking Necret near enough last. I'm trying to hide the Wukong pick until last minute. But the reason why I want Necret to be last is because he needs to be further down the team order so that when a champion gets attacked in a specific order, the champion that is protected by Necret takes damage before the Necret, which means that the shield applies. If Necret is above that champion, you don't get the shield passive. Like, there's so much. I can't outspeed him. I literally cannot outspeed this guy. So the only way I can get around this is to bring a cleanse, like a Mithrala. And then take the Kymar out. Because the only way I get around this is cleansing the bombs. But I don't think it's going to work because I think I'm just going to get nuked to hell back. Because they've got 2 3-speed auras. I can't stop them. I can't outspeed them. So he's going to boost into double bombs. The only hope I've got is I can somehow tank it with my Necra and then cleanse with Mithrala. Because they haven't got increased accuracy. So there's no way you can bomb my Mithrala. I've got a decent amount of reaction. So as long I don't mind if Necra dies. Vlad dies, that's absolutely fine. But now I can do this. And hopefully Necret should live. And then I can just start picking on who I want. Necret just about lived. Right, so if I take out this first. Then if I take out you. So now it's a race against time. Can I kill him before I lose complete protection and control of my Phenax? Which I think I can. But it's going to be a double boost. So I need to get back round to... Like, this is just fine because he's still got block debuffs. It doesn't matter if Necret dies at this point. As long as I can get a turn with Phenax, I win. I win. Because this champion is never going to kill Phenax with the shield that he's got for one turn. Should be the case. Because I can just do that and finish it off. Yeah, Glazea's problem is she's not consistent, is she? Have I tried Alika as a lockout champion? Yeah, but the problem is you're just bringing out... Like, if I'm going to do that, I might as well bring Basher, right? Because at least I get block buffs then to deal with people like Leo. You know, and also she's Force Affinity, so magic base is not great. I don't think the problem is going to be until I hit gold 2, right? I think gold 1, because you can still look, for example, you think of the range of ratings I've had. I've had I've had like matchmaking that has matched me with people in gold. And I'm getting match made with, like now, the range is still quite high. So I still think gold 1, it'll be fine because I'm getting ranged with those people. But it'll be when I start getting higher up in gold, you know, in gold 2 and 3 and 4. But, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. I might rebuild the Constantine to make him go faster. That could work. The reason why I've been using Phenax is because he's just built faster at the moment. He's built at about 210 speed. And the problem I've got with Wukong is he doesn't bring Termi to control himself. So he's very good at countering the enemy, but the team itself, like I can't drop Duchess for Arbiter because it just doesn't work as well. So what I'm using is faster DPS champions to give me more agency and life harvest and things like that to basically get the team running a bit faster. Do you think Raid will ever have a speed readout within arena battle so that we know the speed of the champions? Probably not. Why do I never use Arbiter? Just because she's not built tanky. She's built super, super fast and she's just going to get permabanned. I did try experimenting with her. It's just, I feel like Duchess is a bit too much of a stable pick because if the Wukong does get banned, then I'm okay. Even if I pick Arbiter, I would have to change up the team and get rid of Necret, and it just becomes a bit messy. Oh, Lord above, this is going to be a loss. This is my only hope. My only hope is going first and somehow getting control of the fight. I didn't go first, I've lost. Oh, maybe I can, like... Somehow I didn't take buffs off him. Well, we can just kill him. That's something. We're going to get probably... Maybe we can get back round to the Baron before we take a turn. Maybe. Nope. A3. A4. All that. I have no answer to lockout, basically. It's frustrating. I mean, it's not too bad. What is that? We just started here. 3 losses out of 9. It's pretty good. I've been holding about 61% win rate. I just have no answer to that team. Because if I don't ban the Arbiter, they get a turn. If I ban the Siphi, Arbiter boosts the Yumiko. If I ban the Yumiko, Arbiter and Siphi will boost, and I'll just get one shot by the Jorgid. By the Jorgid and the Baron. If I ban the Baron, I'm going to get one shot by the Jorgid. If I ban the Jorgid, I'm going to get one shot by the Baron. So there's no real answer. The best bet was to try and matchmake against the Arbiter, hoping that the Siphi was slower than my Wukong, get a turn, sleep the Wukong, get ahead of the Yumiko, or like something of that control. It's just... Yeah, but the problem is, Nexard, you actually need agency, right? You need your team to have some way of taking control and getting a turn. It's fine to have like an A1. You know, that's why I'm using Phenax, because it's fine for Phenax to be locked out. But you got to remember, Warlord drops turn meter, right? Yumiko is going to reset the turn meter boosts of other champions. Like, she's going to reset, like, Siphi's A2. So, if I don't have actually some sort of control in the fight, then all I'm going to do is get turn meter cycled to death. And I'm depending on, like, counterattacking. It'll be more interesting if there's, like, stone skin options, maybe. Like, when we go for Savage from stone skins, perhaps. But, yeah, right now it's a little bit tricky. I just want to upgrade a little bit of these. I think I can go there as well. I don't think I can go up there. We're just doing a little bit of upgrades here. Right, okay, so. A little bit of live arena. Well, there's no point Baron. Yeah, I mean. The problem is, this is what I don't like about live arena. You can't really pivot in draft. Because by the time you get as far to see what they're going to build, it's too late. And, you know, your team only works if they don't ban the Helicath. If they ban the Helicath, you lose. And you've got a Rotus. Sure, I don't have a Rotus, right? I don't have a Rotus Leorius that can basically support themselves. None of my nukers can go into a battle without someone like Necrep protecting them, or Arbiter protecting them, or Pythium protecting them, right? Even a bolstered up DPS, the only way they survive is if they've got like triple reaction and we pray. So, you know, it's not really viable to run a Helicath if they're just gonna ban, you know, if you're picking Baron, you ban the Helicath because you know the only thing stopping you is the Helicath. If that makes sense. Like, if I'm picking Baron, I know that they're picking Helicath. They're going to ban my Baron, so I have to ban their Helicath. It's just, like, because you're showing your hand. It's like the same thing with the Mortu Uko, right? People pick Uko, you go, I'll have the Mortu then. Because instantly, I know you're going to trigger my Mortu Macabre. I'm going to win. So what happens is, you end up banning the Mortu, which buys, buys your team a free ban. And then you can either leave the Uko up, or you can ban their Uko, knowing that they're probably going to ban your Mortu. It's almost like you're strategically countering yourself, but you also know that that strategic counter is likely to get banned, so you're gaining yourself back, if that makes sense. It's a bit confusing to explain, but that's what I'm trying to essentially say. How am I doing in the tournament here? I'm at like 8,000. It's not bad. It happens a hell of a lot swifter. I actually believe one of the biggest changes they can do is get rid of the turn meter. I actually think either make it a 70% chance to deplete 30% turn meter. The fact that it can fully deplete a turn meter and put your skills on cooldown or 4-turn cooldown is a travesty for a skill. It's way too strong. I think it doesn't need the turn meter control. It's too strong already. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, but then again, Sander, I know when someone's picking a damage Wukong, right? Because they don't pick a third damage dealer. So therefore, when I go into the fight, I'm like, well, I know that's a slow Wukong because they built them for damage, so I just control them and block revive them. It's very easy to counter. Not really, Rue, because, you know, if you pick 3, then ban 2, then pick 2, then what happens if they just save their Taras Marichka for the last 2 picks, right? The whole fun, it can't just be a simple like, oh, move the ban or something. I thought it could be back in the day, but when we were debating it, people raised very valid points that, you know, if you banned it in advance, then it's not fair on the champions you own. If you ban it in the middle of battle, then they can just hide it till the end of the battle. If you can't ban after the battle, the way that they've structured the draft just makes it so that you have to go into a live arena battle knowing exactly the team you want to run and have supports and cover for a bad ban. So you have to have 2 damage dealers, because otherwise your damage dealer just gets banned out. You have to have at least 1 reviver probably, and then if you've only got 1 reviver, you probably need either a very good control champion or a secondary reviver. So you're looking at my team and going, well, I've got 2 DPSs, I don't have Rotus Leo, so I need someone to keep them alive, so that requires Necret. Now that I've got Necret, I need some agency, so that requires someone like Wukong or Arbiter, which means if I'm picking Arbiter, I also now need to pick another speed champion, because I'm telling them straight up off the bat that I'm picking speed teams because I picked Arbiter. You see what I mean? You have no flexibility in a draft. You literally have to go into the fight knowing exactly what team you're going to run, which means you only ever run 1 team, which is the problem with Arena at the moment. It's basically the same team, every plat reset, the same team at top live arena. You see every battle I'm using exactly the same team. I'm not pivoting based on strategies. The only pivot I did off strategy is when someone picked 3 bombers, because I'm like, well, I'm going to pick Mithrala. They should have banned my Mithrala. They would have won. Simple as, because they had Arbiter into Mithrala. They should have just banned the Mithrala. They would have won. So you pick Jorgen first, enemy knows he will get slapped whatever he does. Well, it's actually quite difficult to kill a Jorgen in triple reaction behind a Necret. If you pick someone like Jorgen, he's either in Stone Skin or he's behind a Necret. Simple as, if you've built him properly. Which means you actually can't get to him unless you have Wukong. It's the only way to stop it. Yeah, like Xu Zhen is a game changer because essentially she forces turn meter, right? Xu Zhen is here, right? She can basically solve the problem of how do I keep my DPS alive, because she can just basically make you take a turn. So I can make the Jorgen take a turn. I can make the Wukong A2 take a turn, right? I can force them to take a turn. It's a very powerful ability. Hey, Gabzito, completely new to this game, but the stats on this artifact is pretty good, right? Set, perception, attack, okay. 33 accuracy, crit damage. Yeah, pretty good. The only thing I would say is with perception, normally you want to place debuffs, right? To place debuffs, you need to take turns, so normally you want speed and accuracy. But it's got good accuracy index. You don't really care about crit rate, crit damage. The only time you do care about it is if you're running like a clan boss style champion where you need a little bit of accuracy, but you want to predominantly have damage, then it's okay. But it's pretty good. Hey Dandabear, how's it going? Yeah, it's great as a starting piece, absolutely. When we pay for account takeover the website, can we confirm the one doing it? I know you will, or what you do one personally, but as a preference, I trust your help the most. So I actually don't do any of the account takeovers because I just don't have the time, Adrian. It's why I offer my time as free on here, because obviously we have a paid service. But the people on that service are, you know, people we trust. You got Scratch on there, Cold Brew on there. Who else is on there? I forget the names. Elvo does gear cleanses. He's done like thousands of them now. Ron's on there. So the people we have on there are very good. It just depends what you want. But like I'll always offer advice and help here. But I actually don't have time to do people's takeovers with everything else I've got going on at the moment. That's why I don't actually charge anyone for my help. Because I would be committing to something I don't know if I've got time to do. So yeah, like that's true, Mark. That's what I'm saying. The only way you can get through the Stone Skin the Stone Skin Jorgen is by using Wukong. That's why I've been saying at the start of the stream, I think Wukong's biggest strength is when he actually goes in and he uses him as a debuffer, right? I think his biggest strength is a debuffer, because you can just take away the big problems. Another meeting, Dander. That's rough. Hey, Saf, what's thoughts on Umbral enchantments built in Relentless for Hydra? She is good, Liam. The only problem is her A1 is kind of pointless, and you lock yourself out from being able to do anything with a provoke. So she's not the best, but she is pretty good. Relentless is probably a good idea. Get background to your abilities fast, yeah. Build Dutch or Pythian in res to play against Lockout. I mean, it's not that she's not built in res. She's not built in a lot, right? So, a couple of builds for you here that I was just using. So, Duchess right now, she's built in 2-turn Stone Skin. She's at, 581 resistance. 250 speed. So it's not like she doesn't have resistance, but we got to remember is there's just no way that I to beat those resistance numbers, you're going to have to go like 800 resistance, right? And my gear is just not there for that. I've got a pretty good banner. I could come in here and I could try and ascend it to see if it gives me resistance, gives me flat defense. That's useless. I've got a resistance chest with HP. I got speed boots. Okay, I could probably find some better speed boots without crit rate. Fair enough. Maybe I can find some better gloves. Sure. Maybe I can find a bit more resistance here. Fine. Good, decent sets there. Because I don't want to too slow. That shield is pretty good. Here, for example, it's in a 1 resistance. I haven't really looked to see if I've got a better resistance amulet, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. See? They're all kind of rubbish. Got an accuracy today. I haven't really looked at what this could roll. Maybe a triple roll speed. No, it rolls everywhere. It always does. Because I've got her in Stone Skin, I don't really want it to go super fast, but I don't want it to go so slow that I can't take a turn. So 250 is a good position here because it means I always get some protection for my team where they have to attack her. They can't really kill her because she's got 2-turn Stone Skin, which means I can stay alive. It gives my DPS chance to actually take a turn if they do ban my Necra. So, yeah, Rondel Bron is there. Yeah, exactly, Martin. You might build some champions with a bit of damage perception. Sometimes perception damage sets as well, just as an off-piece. Apparently the top guys are going back to a damage Wukong. Shinny talked about it a bit. It depends what you have in your account, George. For me, because I don't have Lockout, because I don't have a Kaimar, because I don't have Siphi Rotus, because I don't have, Taras Marichka, the Wukong in a debuff role gives me the ability to disable the enemy's stall mechanics, like an Ultimate Death Knight or like a Necra or a really fast speed champion, right? It gives me the ability to actually control the fight. So for my account, it doesn't make sense to make him a damage dealer when I've got a 5-star Vlad, when I've got a Constantine, when I've got a Phenax, right? I've got good DPS. I need to make them have a turn. Wukong allows me to do that. But he's actually 100% viable as a nuker as well. I just think personally he's better as a debuffer because he can do things as a debuffer that no other champions can, whereas his A2 is basically a bit like Baron's A1. It's not much different, just hits a bit harder because it ignores defense. It's a combination of Baron's A4 with Baron's A1. It's good, but it's not essential. He is going to weak hit as well, which is a problem. So, should we talk about Finite Heart then? So I've been doing some work on this. I figured now is the time to give it a go. And I've been looking at some different tunes and different speeds that are out there. And I've built myself a little bit of a speed tune that I think could work. Now the speeds are incredibly high. No idea if it's going to even be possible, to be honest. So the first thing we need to do is figure out how much crit damage we need on Gnut. We probably need somewhere in the region of like 295% Gnut if we're going to do it with Savage or Savage Cruel, right? So if we put him in Savage Cruel, that would be 30. How much Ignore Defense did we just add now into the area bonuses? We got 4%, so that would be like 34%. So we'd need 275% crit damage to cap out the damage if we are in Savage Cruel, which is not ideal, to be honest. I don't really want to take my reflex Gnut away, but you can see like the massive difference Ignore Defense does, right? So what I've been doing a lot of math on recently is how much value this Ignore Defense bonus is in area bonus, right? Got it in all these places, but if a champion has any form of partial Ignore Defense, there is enough Ignore Defense here to basically allow you to go true damage, right? So for example, on Fire Knight, if you're using Crutrax's A1, well, 20% plus 50% is 70%. You put Savage Cruel on her, her A1 does true damage. And when you can get to a true damage point of view, that's very big. There's a massive difference between ignoring 60% defense, ignoring 80% defense, and ignoring 100% defense, right? Just to give you some numbers here. just to give you some numbers here, right? Who was I speaking? I was talking to YST here, or was it I talking to my brother here? Yeah. So just to give you some numbers, if I had Whisper right now, okay, I've been hunting the market for this every single goddamn day, and it still hasn't given it to me in the market. Right now, Whisper is at 5-star Awakening, right? So I can't use Crushing Rend. So I don't have any Ignore Defense, and I don't have any Ignore Defense in the finite. Assume that scenario. Assume you have no Crushing Rend, and you have no that. So imagine you're just running Savage Cruel, okay? So if you were running... So if you were running Savage Cruel, and you were running the finite boss on 25 normal, right? Let's just assume 25 normal. 25 normal has 4,335 defense. Or if you've got a stacked out Crushing Rend, stacked out Cruelty, 20% defense reduction, it goes down to about 3,468, which is around about 77% damage reduction, right? It means your damage is being reduced by 77%. If you add in Savage Cruel, Crushing Rend at 6-star, and then your 20% area bonus, you take that 77% damage reduction down to 11%. Or 26% if you don't run Savage Cruel, right? If you run Relentless. Okay, so the difference here, this is how much difference that is. If she was to use her A3, which obviously doesn't ignore defense, it's not relevant for A2, it's relevant for A3. In a build where you don't have all those bonuses, like in her current build right now, she will deal somewhere in the region of 191 to 223,000 damage on this A3. Combined, both hits combined. If you add all those ignore defense bonuses, this becomes 338 to 413 in Savage, right? You're doubling the damage. It is obnoxious. So if you have a champion that even has a remote small chance of ignore defense, you can get some insane damage output from those champions, even when they wouldn't normally be number one. You're massively, right? When Whisper uses this A2 in the boss, it does 405,000 in finite 25 normal right now. So that's only one ability. This would be, it's just an obscene amount of damage. No, ignore defense is additive with itself. So all forms of ignore defense adds with itself up to a maximum of 100%. If you go over the cap, you can't get more than 100% ignore defense. But all ignore defense sources are additive with itself. What is the max damage Gnuts A3 can do on finite 10 hard? Let's have a look. Dungeons, I score them. 5,802,000. It's basically 10% of this, right? So 5892952. You have issues finding out how my turn meter control should work, but after 3.5 minutes, 50% health, Knut's turn meter decrease is not working anymore. Fully booked. Any bugs? No, it shouldn't be. Gnut should, as long as you've got enough accuracy. Are you losing like an accuracy buff worst? By any chance? Keep in mind, you can't place freeze beneath the shield, so the shield has to be down. It has to be fully booked, and you need accuracy, right? You'll always place it. Always places it, unless you're 3%. Obviously, if you're 3%, that's irrelevant. But if you're saying it's happening all the time, it sounds like accuracy. Hey, so have you seen the Arcane Celebrity procs? Yes, it does. I know about it, yeah. We were talking about Michinaki being bugged. Attack Deadheads. Yes, it does. That is bugged at the moment still. No resistance shown. Do you have enough? Okay, that's a bit strange. I agree. I think if they're not gonna, here's the thing: if they're not gonna fix Cadaver and they go ahead and fix Michinaki, they will cause an absolute riot. They'll go absolute ape crap on them, because if they're willing to bug, nerf Michinaki, it's not like Michinaki is doing billions of damage, right? It's not like he's going nuts. He's not doing more than an Acrizia. I don't really think you need to nerf him, right? It's his best place. To be fair, nobody's really using Michinaki as an arena nuker, or not many people are really going crazy in clan boss with it or anything else like that. So, yes, it's a bug. What we're saying is, should it actually attack dead heads? I think yes. I think it should. because I don't think it's a significant enough damage boost that makes him unplayable or unbalanced. Because if we were going to allow a Crizia to do it, I think it's absolutely fine. As I said, if they don't fix Cadaver and they fix that, that's a joke. The whole game is a joke if that's the case. And it's hard to justify their behavior if that's the case. Simply put. So, I have been looking a little bit through, I'll be honest, I went through the stages tool. I was like, I wonder if there's more teams. For a very long time, I never used to get any teams in the stages tool, right? When I used to do this and I looked for teams, I didn't get any of these. But now that we've got Razelvarg, we've got a couple of other champions, people are starting to get area bonuses. You know, there are teams appearing in my team list here, which is kind of cool. Obviously, I want a fast team, 100% number of battles, right? That's the kind of team I want. I don't want any manual teams. And I want consistency. So I'm actually quite curious to run this team here. Oh, I wonder if that... Oh, he had a fail. There's been one person here has been basically running this all day. Look, it's like 94% fail rate. And it's probably because he's 3%ing when he's using this. Because he's opening with Blessed Bash to basically try and get it at 2 minute 18. But no, it's not a bad success rate, really, when you think about it. 95% success rate. But he's probably just getting unlucky with some 3%, maybe the Yakal. There's actually this speed tune here, right? So the speeds are kind of insane. We'll talk about those in a second. But you can see what happens is Razelvarg comes in with his first A3 here. That gives everyone a turn meter boost. Then we're going to have the first counterattack here, which is Longbeard. That's going to give Razelvarg a 15% turn meter boost because Razelvarg A1 gives him a 15% turn meter boost. And that's going to give us 10 attacks at a minimum. Then on the Farrakhan, the Fat Wave, we're basically relying that we get at least like one Phantom Touch proc in the duration of the 2 ally attacks. Again, we get another Razelvarg, 15% turn meter fill. Hopefully at this point, what ends up happening is the last attack is Gnut's A1, which gives us one bout of 15% turn meter drop. Then Gnut can come in here and open with A3, doesn't do any turn meter control. Yakal then comes in with the 15% knockdown from the A2, puts decreased speed on the boss. Then Razelvarg comes back in with an A1, does 15% drop. Then you've got Longbeard, he's doing a weaken, doesn't really do anything. Farrakhan can come in then with, you know, an A3 or whatever. We haven't really decided what other abilities. Then Gnut comes in with an A1 and knocks it down by 45% because he's going to apply 3 freezes consecutively. As long as he applies this, then we are okay. If he doesn't apply that, you see how the finite, and if it's only minus 30, it can cause problems. So you can get away with a little bit of a resist. Like if you get 2 resists here, probably all right. But if you get nothing, if you get 3 resists in a row, it's really bad. But it's not ever going to happen. And just like here, for example, if, for example, you don't slow him down, that causes problems as well, right? So I'd imagine the reason why this is failing is because he 3%ed the Akal decreased speed. There's not really anything you can do about that. Exactly, yeah. It's basically, if you think about it, 94%, 3% it always happens, 3% it doesn't happen. It's about right, you know? Because you need to get that initial decreased speed. The only way that can work is if you have some way of having a backup decreased speed. Now, obviously, if he didn't open with the Gnut A3 and instead did the Gnut A1 here, so if he opened with Gnut's A1, then it would probably give him the security, because the chances are then you can afford a 3% here because the boss isn't going to take a turn and you're going to get another, you know, you won't get it there, but you can control it. So if you wanted to be 100% in this team, you'd have to basically open with your Karl's with Gnut's A1, but it would add probably 30 seconds to your run, right? It's a 100% chance, yeah, when you book it up. It's a 100% chance when you book it up, but if you 3% the decreased speed, you're screwed, right? So hard 10, this is hard 10. So if the thing goes perfectly every single time, then you're all right. Now, the nice thing about this team is Farrakhan's going to give you increased crit rate, so you don't need to have 70%, 100% crit rate on everyone. That helps with the builds. Razelvarg is going to give you increased accuracy. That helps with the builds. So as long as you can basically like kill it, before you lose your increased accuracy buff, which is not going to be a problem because Razzlevarg is going to be really fast, then you can do it. Or, you know, that's the thing. You can use Stagnite. It's going to add 2 minutes, right? You drop Newt or your Carl or one of these ally attackers. It's going to cause problems. Now, I would imagine you're going to get back onto your Gnut fast. You know, he's basically running double refreshes to try and get counterattacks. He's also running like double reflex in the Farrakins to basically get more ally attacks, right? He basically just wants to keep ally attacking to get control. And then hoping that basically Gnut just comes in and, you know, maybe gets a Cycle of Revenge. He should have Cycle of Revenge. He doesn't, which is really bad. He should really put Cycle of Revenge because you can proc it here. He's probably not realizing. You know, he's definitely taken Arcane Celerity, but you should absolutely, with Gnut, where is it? Here. My Gnut's not even got masteries. I've been running. I've been using Gnut since he's come out, and I haven't even done much. Oh, whoops. Well, that was a situation. Well, I probably should do masteries on Gnut then, basically, right? I mean, that is how good he is. I haven't even noticed he doesn't have masteries and he's one-shot and everything. But you should 100% take Cycle of Violence because you can proc it as long as you hit 30% exactly on every single ability. As long as you hit the cap 10 times, you'll proc Cycle of Violence. You'll proc it. And you don't need anything else really in this row. I mean, you can take this if you should take that. You should probably go something like, I would say an ideal setup for a Gnut in Fire Knight would probably be something like this. That. And then you want that. We need to drop that. That. Probably that. We can't really do that. I can't really do that. It's annoying. Well, we don't need that. We could take that. I mean, he is probably not that. Doesn't really matter. Take them. We want to take probably that. The last mastery doesn't really matter, to be honest, because you're not using the A2. It's probably something like that. You really want this if you can get it. You probably don't want that. What am I taking that for? I think you want that 6% more damage, right? It's really good. I mean, I suppose you don't really need it, but it would help. Like, you can see, you do need, because if you can't get decreased defense, right? So the idea is, the reason why Longbeard is going before Farrakhan is you're basically 50-50 in whether or not Farrakhan can get a decreased defense on the A1, because Farrakhan has the decreased defense on the A1, but it's a 50% chance, or 55% with Sniper. So if you land it, if you look here, for example, if I get decreased defense out on a target, well, I only need 146% crit damage, right? I don't need that extra mastery. Doesn't matter if I don't have that. It's only going to save me like 12% crit damage. It's irrelevant. However, if I don't land the decreased defense, then I need substantially more crit damage, right? In essence, if I land the decreased defense every single time, I don't even need Savage Cruel. But because there's no guarantee, it's a problem because of the value of the defense of the target. Now, obviously, if I had a higher awakening, if I was rank 6, well, it's not really a problem anymore, right? You want to see how much a blessing really makes a difference? Look at the difference. If you have no awakening, you need 399% crit damage. If you have a 6-star awakening, you need 233% crit damage. Right? And if you have a maxed out area bonus, you need 199% crit damage. And if you have a maxed out cruelty bonus, you need 177% crit damage. So basically, if you have a 6-star Gnut, you can do so much more. because the awakening bonus gives you such a powerful bonus of damage. Hey, YST. We're talking about Fire Knight hard. So, you know, if that's the case, when you don't need that, you can take this away, for example, and now you've got options to go, well, I could go for Law of Steel if I want to. This isn't going to help you because you can't drop the turn meter, but Law of Steel could give you, like, a bit more stats, I guess. It's not going to matter if you're going Savage Cruel, but if you don't need Savage Cruel, you can go speed sets, right? That gives you more speed. It gives you more options. Again, you can't, there's not really a point taking that because it's not going to give you anything. You could also take this, but it's not going to matter. So, I prefer Gnut in Reflex, you know, Reflex, if I'm being honest, because I prefer to get back around to the A3 more. But, you know, because my Gnut is only 1 star, I'm going to have to build quite tanky here, right? I don't have a maxed out Great Hall at the moment. It's 0.4. So if I basically go in there with no ignore defense, no weaken, and no decrease defense, it's going to be 386% crit damage, right? And the team that we're planning here, there is no weaken until Longbeard does his A2. Now, here's the thing. If we decide that we don't mind to spend another 30 seconds, then we could decide that instead of opening with Gnut's A3, we're going to open with his A1, right? That way, then, we actually get a chance to do weaken because Longbeard is going to take a turn here. Longbeard has a... Where is he? I'll go back to here a second. Longbeard has a 100% chance to place weaken. Right? It's the only thing that'll happen until 3%. Now, if we have weaken in the build, well, we can actually go and look along here and we can say, okay, weaken, how much do we need? Well, we're going to have like 4% ignore area bonus. Okay. Well, we only need 289% crit damage now. It's a lot more, it's a lot more reasonable, right? It's not great, but it's more reasonable. We will get some bonus crit damage from the area bonuses eventually, but it's a lot more reasonable. And obviously, every time you use an A3, you basically give yourself a rank 3 cruelty. So you can see after the first attempt, we only need 274. After the second attempt, we only need 254, right? Because it's increasing every single time because of the cruelty bonus, right? Because the target's defense is getting destroyed. Now, actually, when you actually use Gnut, you can take it down to 70%. So actually, after the second A2, if it's not dead, you only need 220%. So probably for my team and my security, it would be better if I opened with Gnut's A1, then used his A3 after the fact. It will add 20 seconds onto the run because we're basically waiting a whole nother turn to get his A3 back. Now, if we're lucky, we can make use of these, right? This would make a huge difference because we got 10%. But, you know, have I got really a fast banner in accuracy? No. Which is what you would need to make it really good, right? We hope you'd basically want to go, does this roll anything triple? And we'd go, okay, well, I'm going to RNG it. Maybe I'll get speed. I did. It's not an accuracy, though. Really annoying. But, again, you don't need as much accuracy. Why? Because the boss, you only need 345 accuracy. But you're going to get increased accuracy buff. So, as long as you can always have the increased accuracy buff up, then you should be able to run at less accuracy, right? So, if you need 345, then essentially you probably only need... I can never really reverse engineer this. It's like 230... Yeah, 230, right? I only need to run him at 230 accuracy. Now, again, this is where area bonuses is huge. If I have plus 80 area bonuses, right? Well, I only need, between these two, it's giving me 160. He already has a base of 20. So I'm already at 200 accuracy before I even put a banner on it. I only need 230. So I actually can go and say, okay, I don't need this accuracy banner anymore because I've got increased accuracy in my team. I'm going to go slot in this defense banner because it's going to give me an extra 5% chance to go A3 into an A3. However, there is a risk to doing this because we're depending on getting a 45% there. So if he was to do 0.45 into an A3, yeah, and then he got a reset, he would get another A3 there. He's not going to get another turn before the boss takes a turn. right? Because Gnut is too slow. Let me just make sure we haven't put any more slows in here for a second. 45. Let me just do this a second. Skill. Oops. So that's like A3, A3, A2, A1, A2, A1. What is Rabbit's cooldown? 3 turn. Okay. Longbeard is going to do A2. Farrakhan will do... I can never remember what Farrakhan does. Farrakhan is ideal because he does give you decreased defense. We probably don't ever A3 with Farrakhan. A2 with Farrakhan. Because as much as poisons and burns are pretty good, it's not relevant because the boss is never going to take a turn. We would probably just A1 again. Because we actually just want to make sure we always get it. So if we do fail, we get it again. So we're going to A1 there. Then we're going to A1 with Gnut, right? So Gnut's going to A1 here. Then this is not going to be an A1, right? We're going to A3 here. And then Gnut's going to A3 here. Razelvarg is going to do another A1. So he's getting 15% turn meter boost. Yakal then is going to do an A3. And I'm pretty sure Yakal's A3 doesn't give him any turn meter. I'm pretty sure Yakal, he can't steal any turn meter here. So that's not going to help him. He will give himself increased speed buff, but he's already got that anyway, so it doesn't matter. This will basically drop the boss's turn meter by 75%. This debuff can't be resisted with targets for 75% more turn meter. If we look when he does this, the boss actually doesn't have 75% turn meter. That is a problem. We actually need Yakal not to do that at that point. We need Yakal to be going after Longbeard. So Yakal probably needs to go slower than this. I don't know how much slower. Let me just hide this a second. Hide, hide, hide. Like, Yakal needs to go slower. He's not ever going to go slower, is he? Wow, he's never actually... That changes up now. The reason why is because if your Carl doesn't use his ability there, it's not guaranteed. Because we've opened with Gnut's A1, right? But you can't really run him at 200 speed, I don't think. Yeah, you can't steal a turn meter. So... Like, he was running at 279. So that puts his A2 here. So if we run him at 200, everything gets delayed by 1 turn, right? So this is going to go to here. That's going to be an A1. Then this is going to be an A2. This gets put 0, and then this is minus 0.15. Then Longbeard A2, Farrakhan A1, Gnut A3, Razelvarg A1. Let me just make sure. And hide. Oops. And hide. Razelvarg A1. Yakal, nope. It's going to go here. Yakal then is going to take a turn here. Now it's better because the boss is at a higher turn meter. So now we always guarantee when Yakal does his A3 here, Longbeard is going to do, what was it, A3, A2, A1. What is, I think Longbeard's cooldown is a bit longer than that. 4 turns, 3 turns, 2 turns. Yakal's going to do the A3 here. That gives us another guaranteed freeze because it's irresistible now. Then Farrakhan's going to come in with his A1 again. Gnut then is going to... Say like we get a double refresh, right? That's a problem. But we have done a lot of damage to the boss at this point. So we could just kill the boss. Razelvarg has done A3, A1, A1. So Razelvarg now is going to do A3, which at this point means he's actually now going to be doing double boost. So he's going to be going faster. We also make sure that everyone... Do we lose speed buff at any point? That's what we got to make sure. Because the Razelvarg goes on here. So Longbeard's got it here for 1 turn after this point. And he loses it at this point here. So Longbeard is going to go here. Oops. That's Longbeard, I mean. Longbeard. Be careful, see? Longbeard loses it at this point. Welcome to the world of speed tuning. Longbeard loses it at that point. When does your Carl lose it? Your Carl is 1 turn at this point. Here. It's fine. Gnut is 1 turn at this point, and then it falls off here. Farrakhan is 1 turn at this point, and then it falls off here. One, two, three, four. Why don't I see Razorvarg's speed buff here? Razorvarg 1. So that's still on 2 turns. So there, 1 turn for there, and then it falls off here until he reapplies it here. So I'm just trying to make sure I go through this. Yeah, but I also want to do it this way because I know there's calculators out there. Sorry, the Google Sheets doesn't zoom very well. Do that. No, it didn't work. View. It's difficult for me to zoom in because then I can't see what's going on. But I can put it to like 150% maybe. Let's see what's going on here. That's better. And I can put it to full screen. That helps. So I just need to bring it back out. I can't really see what I'm doing at 125. So basically Razorvarg A3, Longbeard A3, Gnut A1, Razorvarg A1, Yakal A2. Let's just make sure that's going on a right point. Yeah, Longbeard A2, weaken, Farrakhan A1, great, Gnut A3, yeah, Razorvarg A1. Right, nothing happens here. So that's fine, nothing's happening here. Then Yakal does his A3, which is absolutely fine at this point because we're above 75%, which is great. He loses his turn meter boost at this point here, which should be there because he's taken 2 turns. Loses it at this point here. Longbeard doesn't have it at this point. Cool. But Longbeard will just A1. Farrakhan will A2. I think he's going to A1. And then Razorvarg at this point puts the speed buff back on everyone else. Which is great. Farrakhan does his A3, A1. And then Gnut. So here's the problem, right? If Gnut does A3 into an A3 and he doesn't kill the boss, it doesn't work. Now that probably means we need to go and put this back up here. Does it change the tune? It does. So we probably need to boost this guy back up a little bit. So now we just got to check what has changed. Your Carl is going to go there. Your Carl basically takes 1 less tick, so we can put the A3 up here. So Longbeard is going to A1. So we can basically drop turn meter 1 tick earlier. Your Carl loses his speed buff at this point. Longbeard is still fine. Farrakhan is still fine. Razorvarg is going to do A3 at this point, which means everyone gets a boost a little bit earlier. That's now 2. But again, same problem. If this secondary reset comes in, so say like we basically do double A3 back to back, we've got to find 40% damage from all of these abilities, or the boss kills us, right? Because the boss takes a turn. It's the danger of refresh. And I don't know if these abilities here would equal 40% damage. Yes, if the team works properly, Kessel, the boss never takes a turn. Dumb question. Does Ruel the Huntsman passive work on Hydra to reduce their speed? Yes, it does. It even works in Spider Hard. Crazy. It actually works, believe it or not, crazy. It works in Clan Boss. It shouldn't do, but it does. Exactly, Aethra. This is the risk here. Looking at the way that the speed tune is constructed, there is a risk that if we do this, you can see the Fire Knight is at 1.175, which means my next closest champion is nowhere to be seen. Longbeard is the next closest champion at 1.0, or is it 1.075? Why is Longbeard not taking a turn before him, actually? Oh, because it's here. Yeah. So it's here, right? So Longbeard needs 0.1 turn meter in order to do this. Now, there are some exemptions to this rule. Obviously, if your Carl has got Arcane Celerity, he can go faster, right? So in an ideal world, then we actually have to say, well, no, sorry, you need to be a lot faster. So if we put him back up to 279, it changes the tune, right? So we're going to go Razelvarg A3. That gives everyone a boost. Now, I'm applying Razelvarg's bonus speed here, by the way. Sorry, did I just drop that into you? Yeah, it does. Clan boss speed gets manipulated by because it's not a decreased speed debuff, and it's also not a decreased turn meter effect. It doesn't apply to the passives that the mythic passive, right? Mythic passive is what it does. So it works on Dragon Boss. It works on Embers. Not the Eternal Dragon and the Magma Dragon. It works on Clan Boss. It works on Hydra. Basically, anywhere where they normally lock out speed manipulation, Ruel's passive, because it's destroying the speed stat, works. Okay, anything that physically destroys the speed stat, as in reduces like the speed stat itself, works. Embers. No, it's not a spoiler. So I'm factoring in Razelvarg's A3 here, by the way. We're pretty confident now, and I need to update it in the Dead with Jedi calculator, that Razelvarg's passive starts activating on the next tick, right? So Razelvarg takes a turn. The next tick of turn meter fill, I'm pretty sure, is when it starts activating the bonus. So from here onwards is where he gets the bonus, not from above. So I'm applying it here. Okay, so Longbeard, Farrakhan A2, Gnut A1. Just check that's still doing the boost. Yes. Your Carl A1 here. So your Carl now is going to do 0.15. It's actually going to do 0.2. So we are going to put the 0.7 here. That's cool. 0. Razelvarg's going to do A1. That's going to now mean he's... Oops, I should not do that. So we're also giving Razelvarg individual turn meter boost, because obviously when we ally attack, Razelvarg also gains turn meter boost by 15%, right? So we're factoring that in. We got Longbeard's A2 here, great. Farrakhan's A1, fine. Gnut's A3, fine, no turn meter. Razelvarg A1 gets another turn meter. At this point, Razelvarg's turn meter has fallen off, right? And at this point, Gnut's turn meter should fall off as well. Where should Farrakhan's turn meter fall off? At this point here. So Farrakhan should still have turn meter. No, it should fall off there. Gnut should fall off here. Yeah. And then... where's your Carl falling off here? Yeah, cool. And then it's not coming back until here. Perfect. And who else? Gnut, your Carl. Perfect. Okay, so what we got here? Razelvarg is going to do A1. It's going to give him a self boost. Your Carl's going to then do A3. Now, the important thing here is, where's the boss at? The boss is at 0.66. So it's not guaranteed. That's the issue with this ratio here. He's not guaranteed. Really, we need Farrakhan to force Longbeard into a different ratio. But as you can see here, there's no way that tiebreaker is going to work. So so where am I here? There's no way that tiebreaker is going to work, because your Carl's already been pushed really bad. You know, so it might work, actually. No, he's not high enough. Where does it need to be? Actually, no, it might be okay. It might be okay, actually. Let me just check. F11. What is it? 75%? Your Carl. Where are you, your Carl? It might be alright, actually. 75%. Yes, absolutely fine. Because I was applying it retroactively. When we get to this point, the boss has got 0.81. So it's fine. This is okay. So we're going to apply this here, because it's 100% irresistible. It's always going to happen, because it's above 75% turn meter. So that's great. Longbeard's then going to come with an A1. Farrakhan with an A1. Razelvarg with an A3 to reapply the speed buffs, and also start our second stack of A3, because it will override Longbeard's A2 as well. I know about Phantom Touch. We'll probably talk about that in a minute. does that rabbit change speed tune? Does that change rabbit speed tune for CB? I don't know about rabbit speed tune. It could cause some of your speed tunes to randomly fail if you're using Ruel, yes. You apply additional turn meter reductions from Phantom Touch. You won't. Where would you get additional turn meter reduction from Phantom Touch specifically? When it's R-Tac, that is actually, when I get a chance, Augustine, it's the actual correct calculation for Razelvarg is also the same way we're going to calculate the R-Tac. The only thing with R-Tac is dynamic based on whether a HP burn applies. It's a bit difficult. Farrakhan's first ally attack. Oh yeah. Like, sure, you're correct. Like, Phantom Touch could get me an extra drop here, right? I'm assuming I get 1 because I've worked out the probability based on my stars. I'll talk about that in a second, Nexard, right? I'll talk about what my expected probabilities are from Phantom Touch. I don't know. I was talking about how the speed increases applies to the next term without opening up more ways to use a rabbit. Yeah, so it's actually not working correctly in the calculator somewhat in some tunes. The way that it starts adding it up, we basically add it up from the next champion turn or the current turn or something like that. So it works on application when it actually works on the next tick. They gave us a very complicated explanation, something like it starts at the pro face of the turn start. I don't really understand. I think what they're basically trying to say is it starts applying from the next tick in battle, but they made a very complicated way of telling us that. So, hey Joel, dropped in here just a couple of minutes ago. Have you included the speed gain from Razvarg's passive? Yes, from the waves. Does it stack across waves? I thought it reset in battle. Does it stack across waves? Is he likely to use it enough times across waves? Well, that changes things. It depends on how many times he uses it on a wave, right? I'd imagine he's going to have to use it at least 2 times. Because it's a long cooldown, right? It's a 3-turn cooldown. But I suppose if he's going super fast, the likelihood is he's going to get back around to it, isn't he? So maybe we just need to go. Let's assume he's at max then, shall we? Let's assume he's at max. Let's put that here for now. Means he's going to go A3, so everything starts 1 turn early, which is really fun. Are we... in your experiences, do you often find that he's got max stacks by the time he gets to the boss? Well, he's got to use it 3 times on the waves. So I'm assuming he's using it 3 times on the waves. I can just double check on the code, yeah. I'm pretty sure... You're probably right, actually, now that I think about it. Let's just double check. Whole battle. It is whole battle. Yeah, it's whole battle. So if he's using it 3 times on the waves, then by the time he comes into battle, he should have it. The only thing is, you're not going to be able to... It's going to be difficult to control it. You use it once on wave 1, once on wave 2, and once on... yeah, exactly. You're going to want to you're going to have to open with it and never use it again. So it's going to be at 2 stacks, which is fine. We can program this in. So 317 at 2 stacks when we enter battle. It should be 367 speed, which means this needs to be sorry. Like this. So it needs to be 367 speed here because we're going to have 2 stacks. Yeah, this is stage 10 we're looking at here. Stage 10 hard. So it needs to be at 367 speed. So he's still going to come in and open with A3 here. That will give us 1 boost here. It's going to start the boost at 1.3 here a little bit early. So let's just put everyone up here. Okay. So that means then Longbeard, everything starts 1 turn early. Okay. We start the 1 turn usage here. Longbeard A3 comes in. Farrakhan's A3 comes in. Then we have Gnut's A1 if we want it. So again, we're assuming that we're going to get at least 1 stack of Gnut. I'll talk about the Phantom Touch in a minute, but that's what we're assuming. Then we're going to come in with Gnut's A1, which will be 0.45. Then we're going to come in with your Karl's A2, which is going to put the boss on a 0.7 and give us a freeze. Then we're going to do Razelvarg's A1. That's going to give us another boost. Longbeard's A2. Farrakhan's A1. Gnut's A3. Razelvarg's A1. And now we need to just check the turn meters here for a second. So Longbeard takes a turn here. Longbeard takes a turn here. So Longbeard no longer has any boost after this point here. Farrakhan. So Farrakhan stops at here. Gnut and Gnut. So Gnut stops at here. Razelvarg, we stop at here. Your Karl, we stop at here. And then Razelvarg does his A3 at this point here, because that's going to be another Gnut A3. And this is a your Karl A3. Now the only downside is this is actually a problem, because now your Karl is definitely not in the right speed tune. So the biggest problem here is right now is your Karl has got to his A3 when the boss has 0.635 turn meter. So your Karl is going too fast, believe it or not. One thing to note. Right, okay, mistake. I just remembered. Your Karl, when he does A2, is going to give himself a 3-turn speed buff. So actually, your Karl always has speed buff. He's not. So he's got a 7. So his A3 has a 75% chance of placing freeze. If it's below 75% on the target's turn meter. If the target has 75% more turn meter, it becomes 100% irresistible freeze. So what I'm saying here is there is a chance at this point that he doesn't freeze on a 25% chance, because the target's turn meter, he's going too quickly. Yeah, he's going too fast. Why don't you use A3 on the boss? Are we just rolling A1, are we? A1's not 100% though. Why is A3 bad? A3 is good if you can program it, because it's more guaranteed, right? This is probably going to book to where is your Karl? Ooh. Oh, we got to pull a deck. We did get the Cruel here. We got really unlucky. We had 2 and then it like ruined us. Let's do hit. Oh, we got another blue. Oh, we got a 5-star glyph. That's cool. Where's your Karl? Barbarians, your Karl. Okay, books to 50%. So the opportunity, it's the same chance though, isn't it? What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, Nexard, at this position here, I can't guarantee a freeze. Because A1 is a 75% chance, A3 is a 75% chance. Now there's a good chance it'll freeze, but it's still not guaranteed. Right? So let's just assume he uses A1 and we get nothing. Let's assume the worst case scenario. We don't get any freezes on the A1 here. Farrakhan does A1. Then Razelvarg reapplies the 1.3 boost here. Everyone gets 1.3 back. And then that comes up here. Everyone gets 1.3 back. Now, I'm pretty sure your Karl will go 3 turn. And then 2 turn. So you should have a There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. Razelvarg won't get a bonus from this speed buff. Because your Karl's A2 is just activated. So he's actually, on this bonus, only going to get plus 20 speed. So this extra bonus here is actually plus 45. Not plus 50. Because your Karl at this point here still has a 2-turn speed buff, right? Because at this point here, he would be on 2 turns. Then he's going to take a turn and apply a 3-turn buff. And then at this point here, it becomes a 2-turn buff. Razelvarg places speed buff for 2 turns, so therefore he doesn't place speed buff on your Karl. So he'll only place 4 speed buffs, which means he only gets 20 bonus speed. So we just need to update that. So Razelvarg here is going to do A3, give a speed buff. Gnut then is going to do A3. We're basically trying to calculate what happens if Gnut does back-to-back max HP nuke. Your Karl then has got, what is the cooldown of your Karl's A2? It's a 3-turn cooldown, so your Karl should go A2, A1, your Karl's A2, A1, A1. Again, I'm going to assume he doesn't freeze, worst case scenario. Longbird is going to go A3, A2, A1, so A1. And then Razelvarg is going to do A1. It's going to give him a boost. Farrakhan then is going to do A... A3, A1, A1. He's a 4-turn cooldown, isn't he, Farrakhan? He's a barb as well, isn't he? Farrakhan the Fat. He is a 4-turn cooldown, so he's going to do A1 again. So there is a world. Do you want to use Gnut's max HP here? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not doing this for... I'm not going slow, Nexard. I want to kill the boss quickly. So there is a world where if we get a refresh Gnut, and we get no your Karl A1s, which is a very, very small world, that we don't get a turn here. Now, how would we guarantee that is okay? We would need to make Gnut... Right, Gnut's never going to win a tiebreaker here. Now, obviously, if one of these hits, let's just assume we get 1, then it's okay, because Gnut is then going to come back. Even if Gnut does 3 back-to-back, we win, right? Because 90% is going to get destroyed. We've probably done 10% through War Master, Phantom Touch procs, just hitting it. So that's absolutely okay. And even if we don't get another back-to-back, well, Gnut's going to come in here with a minus 45 and absolutely wreck the boss, right? So even if we go again, another rotation, right? So Razelvarg, Gnut's going to go twice here, so he loses his speed buff at this point. Right, so Gnut, you lose his speed buff at this point because he's going to do A1. Your Karl's going to come in now and do an A2 again, which means it'll apply a freeze, which will be another minus 0.15. Razelvarg is going to come in and do an A1. And he's still going to have boost. So your Karl's always going to be under a speed boost. Razelvarg is going to give himself 0.15 and actually end his boost. Who else have we got here? So between that, Gnut, your Karl, Longbeard hasn't taken a second turn yet. Either Farrakhan. So Longbeard's going to come in with an A2 probably. No, then we get an A3. Yeah, so basically, what the summary of what I've just gone through here, which is probably very confusing for all of you here, is if we get a situation where Gnut opens A1, then double A3s back to back, then as long as we get 1 freeze from your Karl's 2 A1s, we're absolutely fine. If we miss one, the boss will take a turn, right? Because if we look here and we go, where was it? So Gnut's A3 here, your Karl A1. So if we don't get anything there, actually, is it okay? Maybe it's fine. We didn't have this here. We didn't have that there. Yeah. So as long as we get one here, it's fine. If we don't get at least one freeze, it fails because we don't get the Gnute's A1 here, right? And even if that only does a little bit, it's absolutely fine because we get the double ally attack again and that'll knock it down. So it's a pretty good, I think that's a pretty good safe bet, right? Yeah, I mean, the speeds we're running here, this, right? So not actually 367 because it's 367 minus 50, right? It's like 317. So the speeds are these. They're kind of nuts. They are crazy. But then when you factor in certain things, they're not actually that nuts. When you think, you know, I've got like pretty fast champions already. Like my Gnute already is in a reflex build at like 264 speed already. Like if I had Fire Knight, it's 268. Okay, he's not 300. I gotta find 40 speed, but he's still pretty built. The good thing is, obviously not for Gnute because, you know, I use him everywhere. But you do not need 365 accuracy here. You know, and if I barely use him for turn meter control. There's no area in the game where I use him for turn meter control. So in that sense, there's no area in the game where I use him for this. I use him for Shogun killing, I use him for boss killing, and I use it for Hydra killing. None of his effects, because I don't use this ability in any of the others. None of them really matter. So I can actually totally run him and build him at 100% crit rate, but only 230 accuracy, and it'd be fine. This is 100% win rate. Nexard. These speeds with Gnute, this is what I've just worked out. If Gnute basically refreshes A3 back to back, as long as I get one Yakal freeze from two A1s, you know, what's the statistical probability of that not happening? Well, he's got a 50% chance. So for it not to happen, it would basically be 0.06. So 1 minus. So there's basically a 6% chance that I don't get one freeze. That I get no freezes. Which is quite low. You know, this isn't taking into account the probability that I get Arcane Celerity, right? So I get a bit of turn meter back for Gnute, right? If Gnute, if we think about it, right? Gnute, if we give him Arcane Celerity has a 30% chance of giving me 10% turn meter when I cast a freeze, okay? He's going to be casting 3 freezes at this point, okay? So I got a 30% chance of getting on at each freeze, which means the chance of me not getting one Arcane Celerity is is like 65%. Okay, so there's a chance I get an Arcane Celerity there. I don't know why I'm doing it in this column here. It's really bad that I shouldn't be doing it in there. So I've basically got to have like a holy trinity of bad luck because I've got to first have Gnute basically double back to back his A3. Then I've got to have no Yakals on an A1. Then I've got to have bad Arcane Celerity and also assume that we don't get an Arcane Celerity on Yakal here, or Yakal here, or Yakal here, right? I feel like it's pretty safe. Does Cruelty stack with decreased defense? Yes, but it won't stack with Gnute here. I mean, it's tuned to work, assuming that you get through 2 activations of Razavag when you come in, assuming you get Longbeard and Farrakhan's, you know, it's refresh, yeah. So basically, if we get a full reset of the A3, go into another reset of the A3. You know, if we don't get that, then obviously this becomes that. And you can see it's much better. Because now we're almost guaranteed to get another Gnut A1 here, right? As long as Gnut keeps A1ing, the boss will never take a turn because we got it under decreased speed and we've knocked it down a lot. Right? As long as the boss is under that control. So it should be okay. Theoretically. But the question is, can I actually build this team? Now, from a Souls perspective, I currently have a 2-star Farrakhan, a 2-star Razelvarg, a 3-star Yakal, a 1-star Gnut, and this would actually be probably... I mean, the Longbeard would be nice, because it gives me Weaken, but I do have Lonotharil with a soul, right? So I do have a 3-star Lonotharil. So, you know, in terms of, I don't have a Longbeard soul at the moment. That has not been graced to me. But I do have a Lonotharil, so I would trade Weaken for some more Phantom Touch procs. But Lonotharil doesn't do anything else, right? What does he give me? I've already got increased crit damage, so that doesn't help. Shield is not valuable. Shield is not valuable. Shield is not valuable. So, Longbeard is more desirable, but doesn't have a soul. Yeah, but Longbeard's A2 is going to do a lot of damage, right? The waves are quite squishy. If you look here, the waves are very squishy. 2.4k defense. So the waves will die quite quickly, especially when we start stacking up ignore defenses area bonuses. What are your thoughts on Skull Crusher? What are your thoughts on a Skull Crusher shield set? Go second team. The advantage being lower boss turn meter when shield drops. Oh, in Finite Hard, I mean, if you can tank the damage, yeah, but it's very hard. What if your Carl fails his break speed? Good question. So if we fail the break speed here, we won't get an opportunity. It's a problem. Basically, it's a problem. But I think that's the case in all scenarios, right? I mean, you know, it's correct. If he fails to break speed, then you can disable Gnut's A3 and it will always work. But it's going to take you a hell of a long time. I guess there's no real security for that break speed. It's only ever going to be a 3%. Chance, you know? Souls reduce incoming damage, yeah. They also increase incoming outgoing damage, so. No, you'll get 2. So I've coded this to basically assume that he's entering the battle with 2 stacks of his passive. So therefore he uses the 3rd stack on the first attack in the boss. So. What if he has 4 stacks? He won't have 4 stacks because you'll need the A3 back on the boss. The boss will be dead before he gets to 4 stacks with Gnut in the team. Keep in mind, you've got all these champions doing damage, right? Your Carl will have damage built in his team. You'll have Razelvarg with damage. You'll have counterattack damage. You'll have, you know, extra ally attacks. So it'll be dead with my Gnut probably. I mean, it's just hyper-theoretical. I do have a Lonotharil 3-star soul, but I would lose Weaken then. And I feel like that's a massive difference in damage. You can see here the difference in damage. That was like a lot more crit damage required. to actually hit the cap, and hitting the cap is important if we're going to use the GNU A3 because we're sacrificing 45% turn meter for that. So if we're sacrificing that, it's kind of important that we ensure we hit the cap. You know, because basically we'll require around about 275% crit damage. Basically. Especially if we're going to go this mastery set here. We'll require about 275% crit damage. In probably... That's actually only in... That's without Savage Cruel. So if we really wanted to go RNG heavy, we could literally go full reflex, refresh, A3, malarkey, and basically like just try the risk of going. I'd rather double A3 back to back so that I kill it quicker. Because I mean, if I triple A3 back to back, I kill it in one go, and it's really fast then. Yeah, so basically, if we look at the souls here, right, let's just assume I'm going to use Longbeard. I've got 2-star, 2-star, 3-star, and 1-star, right? So mathematically speaking, just open Excel quickly here. Okay. A 1-star is 15% chance, okay, per hit. A 3-star is 3% chance. A 5-star is 7% chance. And a 6-star is 1% chance, right? Per hit, okay? So we've got your Carl has 2 hits. We've got let's see, we've got Razelvarg has 3 hits. Now we can only get 1 activation, but it can count on every single one. And Farrakhan has 1 hit. Okay, so we can do basically hits, we can do awakening level, and then we can do percentage probability, right? So, for example, on an awakening level of 3, 2, 1, then the percentage chance is going to be 3%, So we just basically, let me zoom this in. I'll zoom this in now for you so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Hey, Joseph. Oh, I should do this. Okay, it's better, right? So we've got percentages here. So that's the percentage chance they've got. So now it's going to basically be for a... I gotta make sure I do this formula correctly now. I always tend to do like, what's the chances of me landing it? So the chances of me not landing it is basically that times that, because I got 2 hits. So therefore, the chance of me not getting 1 freeze, the chance of me getting a singular of no freezes is... Let me get this right. No. I need to do this. I always mess this math up. I have to do it in reverse in my head because it just doesn't make sense. Like that. I always have to do it in reverse. So the chance of me getting a freeze, again, a Phantom Touch proc. So getting none, basically, is 49%. So I've got a 51% chance that I'll get at least 1. I think that's right. Is that right? Sort me out. Sort me out in the in my math brain here. Because this is a triple hit, I get an extra one of these. And this is a single hit, I only get 1 of these. Or have I worked out the chance of not landing it? I'm sure I've worked out the right chances here, right? So basically what we're saying is we've got a 70% chance times 7. So the chance of me not getting a Phantom Touch on both hits is 0.7 times 0.7, right? That's the chance of me landing 0. The chance of me landing 1 is 0.3 times 0.7. The chance of me landing... No. I can't land 1. 0.7 times 0.3. 0.3 times 0.7. Yeah, so I have a 21% chance that one of the attacks will have Phantom Touch, which is what I need, right? So, therefore, because essentially one has got a 30% chance, one has got to succeed, and the other one has a fail. Because it only has to activate once. So, is that a 21% chance? Someone check my math here. I can't do brain at, like, midnight. Saf, what's more important for mid-game account with no Lydia as of yet? Hitting hard in Classic, Arena, Gold 5 with Candy, or putting my gear on Seer to speed farm dungeons? Well, you want to make sure you can farm Gold 5 for Great Hall. But if you're farming Gold 5, then pushing a priority in dungeons is always good, right? You want to go faster. Yeah, so 30%. So at Awakening 2... At Awakening 2, right? So, yeah, let's just pull him up here. At 3-star Awakening, you have a 30% chance to proc Phantom Touch, but it's per attack, right? So because your Carl attacks twice, he's got 2 attempts on a 30% chance. So basically, we need to work out the probability that he gets the Phantom Touch proc. So the probability that he doesn't get it is 0.7 times 0.7. Essentially, both attempts fail. Which means overall, he has a 49% chance that both attempts fail, which means he has a 51% chance that one of them succeeds. You can't get 2, right? That's the thing. You can't get 2. You can only get 1. So if the first attempt succeeds, then the second attempt will not. And if the second attempt succeeds, but the first attempt doesn't, you still get that. What we need to work out is the probability that at least one succeeds. I always do this sometimes. Probability calculator. When my brain can't calculate things, I go to here and I go, probability of A happening is 30%. I want just at least A. Probability of B, at least one of the event occurs. Yeah, 51%. Yeah, I'm right. So basically, I have a 51% chance I'll get Phantom Touch. Because I only need one of the events to succeed. Well, if each event has a 30% chance, then probability tells me I've got a 51% chance overall. Now, on a 15% chance, what we need to do is go, I need to know the probability that it won't work on each individual attempt. So again, it's 0.85, which is the chance of it not working, times 0.85 on the second attempt and the third attempt. So the chance of every single one attempt failing is 61%, right? Which basically means I have a 39% chance that one of them will work. I think I can do this to 3, right? Help me, calculator. I don't want to do this myself. There we go. So 15, 15, 15. At least one occurring is 38.5%. Yeah, my math is great today. Yeah, so I've got a 38.5% chance that at least one of Razelvarg's attack will proc that. And then Farrakhan has got a 15% chance, right? So when we look at the probability here, we can basically say, what's the chances of one of these champions at least giving me it, right? So we go, well, the chance of this not happening is 0.49%. The chance of this, so basically the chance of that, right? So we basically go, what's the chances of that times that times that times that? So there's a 25% chance that all 3 of these fail, which means overall, I know we're getting there. It's been a long ride to this probability. We have a 74.42% chance that we get at least one Phantom proc. Now, all we need to make this work is 1. Why? Because when we open with Razelvarg's A2, A3, we're going to get 1 hit, right? And keep it in mind, we could proc Razelvarg's Phantom Touch on the first A3 as well. So there is extra hits. When we're attacking with Longbeard, okay, Longbeard is going to attack with himself, which is singular. So we get 1 attack from Longbeard. We get 3 attacks from Razelvarg. We get 1 attack from Farrakhan. And we get 3 attacks from Gnut and 2 attacks from Yakal, right? So 2 from Yakal, 3 from Gnut, 3 from Razelvarg, 1 from Farrakhan, 1 from Longbeard. So we get 10 on Longbeard's A3. And then Farrakhan's we get 9 because Farrakhan doesn't attack, right? So the combination is the 2 ally attacks with a Razelvarg open is 20 out of 21. So I only need 1 Phantom Touch to knock the shield down, right? Just 1 out of all of those options. Now, actually, what we need to do is come back in here and go, well, actually, Razelvarg's going to get an extra chance here, right? Razelvarg's actually going to get an extra chance because he's going to get 1A3 before we even start. So we get an extra 15% chance. So again, we now add this into our equation and we go, well, hang on, there's another 15% chance here. Well, now we've got a 78.26% chance we're going to do it. A 78% chance. This is still not great. Don't get me wrong. What would be really nice is if we can push, you know, Razelvarg into a 3-star awakening, because if we push Razelvarg into a 3-star awakening, you see the difference here. Now we're at 90%. Or if we can push your Farrakhan and your Karl to, like, then we get even better. Farrakhan's not so important. It's the Razelvarg 3-star soul that would add a lot of value. Phantom Touch has a 1-turn cooldown, right? So the way the Phantom Touch works, every time you attack, each individual hit has a chance to proc Phantom Touch, but it is limited to 1 attack. Unless you're 6-star, then you've got a bonus chance to land it again. Once it attacks, it goes on cooldown for 1 turn. So if you then ally attack until you take another turn, it won't work. So to some extent, actually, we can't count this in, because if Razelvarg procs it on the first one, it doesn't work. So actually, we need to take that out in reality, because it'll still be on cooldown. It's designed to stop you from counterattacking or ally attacking with more Phantom Touch procs. So in reality, we only have 1 attempt at all of this, which is correct, yeah? I've calculated this as 1 attempt. Because if we repeated all these, we would actually say, well, we have 4, 6, 2 hits here, right? We don't. Because if any one of them counterattacks, it will work. However, what we can do is repeat the process. And we can say, okay, let's assume the first round of counterattacks didn't activate. Let's go again. What is the chance, then, of us going all of them, right? What is the chance of none of these getting a singular... Because that's what we want to know. All we need out of 2 ally attacks is 1 Phantom Touch proc. What is the chance? 93.4%. Okay. The chance of none of these abilities working is 6.54%. We could even throw in the extra Farrakhan, the extra Razelvarg at the start, the A3, but I don't think that really matters. It's a 1-turn cooldown. Now, if I had a Razelvarg 3-star, look at the difference here. 97% chance. Warmaster doesn't count as a hit. Warmaster doesn't count as a hit. No. It's a debuff. It doesn't count as a hit. Yeah, that's true, actually. Let's take that out. You're correct. Farrakhan's doesn't count. And then if we put Razelvarg back to 2. This is 92% chance I'm going to get at least 1. Right? At least 1. Because there's only a 7% chance I get nothing. That's the simplification here, Bill. Because we've worked out the chance of me landing Phantom Touch on every single one, if I reverse those chances, it's basically telling me if I double ally attack, there's basically a 7.7% chance I get no Phantom Touch procs whatsoever. And I only need 1. Because as long as I land 1 here, then the final attack from Gnut is going to give that 0.15. Now, if I don't get that, it's not the end of the world, but it will break the turn meter a little bit. We do need that 0.15, ideally. Otherwise, it becomes a big problem, really, because if you look, the boss is going to take a turn here. So it is important that we get at least one, because we need at least one of the freezes. Your Carl's at 279 speed here. Which I'm quite happy with that odds, by the way. You know, it can be improved, right? If I pick up a Longbeard Soul, then we can basically improve this even further, right? Because we can add 2 Longbeards in here. Because we can basically do this and basically say, well, Longbeard's going to attack once. He's got a 1 star. Right, so he's got a 1 attempt to roll it here. So add in Phantom Touch on Longbeard is 5% now. And also, I technically have Gnut in Soul Reap, which I would probably prefer to keep him in Soul Reap, because if I can kill it quicker, the better, you know? If I get Soul Reap up to a 3-star, 8% HP, I don't need to find, right? I can just one-shot it. But if I needed to, I could put in Gnut in Phantom Touch. So if I really wanted to go hard, I could put in Gnut in Phantom Touch here, right? And basically put him as a 1-star. Yeah, and now Gnut. If Gnut was also part of this equation, well, now we're down to a 2% chance. It's not wipe, but it probably is not going to... It probably will fail. Because what we're trying to do is get 1 Phantom Touch. If we don't get that Phantom Touch, it means Gnut doesn't, on the second ally attack, drop turn meter by 5%, by 15%, because it doesn't apply the freeze. Which means the whole situation here comes a bit of a problem, because the boss is going to cut in at this point here, right? I don't know why these are showing as percentages. They shouldn't, but it's fine. Because at this point here, the boss is going to cut in. Now, we could probably make some adjustments here to kind of go... Let me just format this away. Format painter. Why is this formatted as a blimmin'? It's not a percentage. It's a number. Put it back as a number. Thank you. Put this as a number, please. Thank you. So we can look here. The boss is at 1.18, so we'd have to push Farrakhan faster if we don't get that 15% drop, right? I mean, it does assume as well that your Carl doesn't get anything here. If your Carl finds one here, then obviously it's probably fine. So it's basically a holy trinity of bad luck for it to fail. So wait, what is the full turn order that happens before the boss goes? Raz A3, double ally attack, your Carl A2, Gnut A1. Yes. More, well... Gnut before your Carl, but yes. So Razelvarg A3 into Longbeard A3. We want Longbeard to go first because he's going to get more ally attacks. Into Farrakhan A3. Because also Longbeard hopefully will trigger Farrakhan's A1 to place a debuff. Then Farrakhan comes in with his. He doesn't actually attack with his one, so he's going to do less attacks. And hopefully by the end of the Farrakhan A3, if Gnut is in the last turn order, then Gnut will get 1 attack. Because if we've had 1 Phantom Touch proc, Gnut will get 1 turn meter boost. Because we'll break it on the final stack, right? Well, it gives us 20 out of 21 without any Phantom Touch. That will break it to get us to 21. Then we start dropping turn meter. Like, if we don't open with Gnut's A3, I think is a problem, right? If you open with Gnut A3, it can cause real problems. Because essentially, if you then double back-to-back, you're definitely in trouble. But I think if we open with Gnut's A1, then A3, A3, I think it'd be good. Yes. Basically, basically we need to have this opportunity here, right? So that would be Gnut if we did that. But we're not going to do this, right? I don't actually want Gnut to do this. I would rather keep Gnut in Soul Reap because I think it's better. Because I think that's better, and I would rather do this. Right, it's a 5% chance. I don't know what the Yakal one is for. I don't know what that one's for there. 6% chance. You know? And obviously if we get Razorvarg Sol 3, makes a big difference. 2%. Actually, this should be a 2. So if this is like... If we factored in Razorvarg's the first A3 and then his subsequent ones, we're basically saying what's the chances of none of the Phantom Touch procs ever happening? It's actually a 1.68% chance. It could work, right? Now the challenge is, can we actually build this team? I assume that's max. Which, you know... I'm going to assume I've got decreased defense and weaken. Do that. It's going to be fun, this. Okay, buffs. Does it matter if he's critting? No, it's fine. It's fine, so he can go crit rate. Increase damage. Increase accuracy. That's good. Right, we need him to be... What speed did we say he needed to be? I have no idea if I can build this. 317 speed. 317. Oh, look, it's copied. That's great, isn't it? Let's just... The most logical thing we should do first is... Make sure the account is up to date. Are you sure you even need a Phantom Touch proc? You do know that the hit that breaks the shield doesn't apply. It does apply debuffs, right? Yeah, I get 20... I get 20 attacks without a Phantom Touch. Therefore, the 21st attack, which would break the shield and apply the debuff, needs to be Knut's last attack. So I need 1 extra attack. Is it connecting? There we go. Let's give it a live refresh. Max it out. 317. He does need... no accuracy, which is great. So we can just go full nuke damage. I don't really think... like... he's just running speed. Doesn't really need anything like that. So it's good. Stats. Slots. I'd rather attack, but speeds might be necessary. We'll just see what I can do first, right? We'll see what I can do. Glyphs, we'll just give it a +4 at the moment because I'm a bit low on glyphs. +15. Okay, cool. That's Farrakhan. That's that damage. Just, I don't know, A1. We're not doing that. Configure. Include. We're just going to exclude 1 for now. We're going to give him a deadly crit damage. And we are going to give him up there and probably Lore of Steel. Buffs, he's going to have increased crit rate, increased damage, and increased accuracy, so he doesn't need as much of that. Stats-wise, he needs to be 305, 344. Obviously, we're going to build it with increased accuracy in mind. This is not needed. Like, we don't need 100% crit rate either because he's got crit rate himself. It's absolutely fine. Slots, we'll just leave it as it is. Sets will... I mean, ideally, we could try and get some refresh accessories on him. I don't know how good my Barbarian might... Let's just go check Farrakhan out a second. Farrakhan. Let's just see. Go to his swap gear tab. This tab does need work. I'll admit, I was a bit lazy with this tab. It's something I want to improve upon, which I will 100% do in the coming days. This tab is just bad. I left it in a bad state. I'm ashamed of myself, really. It should be giving you full width, but it's not. I've just kind of messed up. The good news is I've got loads of refresh accessories for the barbarians. Loads of them. I'm absolutely swimming in them. Look at them all. Look at them all. Ideally, we want this, but maybe this is better even at 5-star. See, it does work every now and then. That's what it's meant to do. I just need to figure out what I've done wrong. I would really like speed. But speed is a problem. So we might just have to go with 1. Refresh gear is such the hard. It's just basically the hardest thing, you know. It's so hard. So we'll have to get rid of refresh there, and then we'll probably. I mean, at this point we just want speed, right? So we just want the fastest banner possible. So we'll leave that as it is. If we go to Yakal, again, I think we'll leave that as it is. Let's go to Longbeard. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got some decent refresh here. Have I got a fast banner? Nope. So I've already got a ring on him. It's defense, not great. There's an attack ring here. There is some... You know, we do have some rings here we can try out. He can, but the weaken is what I want, right? I want the weaken from Longbeard's A2. That's why he's in here, really. Because the weaken from Longbeard's A2 is really good. I feel like it's worth a reforge. I went to defense. Still a better ring. It's still a better ring to do that. Ring is the most flexible option. Like, you can see, I'm not taking that off him because it's too good. I would like attack refresh. It is important that I have a little bit of damage if I can. I don't really have many... Refresh, I would say, is the hardest set to get in the game. I would quite confidently say refresh is the hardest set to get in the game. Because you just need so... You know, you need so many rolls at the attempts. Ooh, that's a rework. Come on, give me crit damage. Give me crit damage. Ah, for God's sake. So frustrating. So frustrating. So we can't do that. Like, you might be thinking, why are you wasting Chaos Ores on these pieces? Because, like, well, they're so rare. These are the types of pieces you would use your Chaos Ore on, right? If this triple rolls, I'm Chaos Ore in it. I would probably even Chaos Ore. I mean, it's defense with defense, but... It's like, without speed, is it that good? But he has to go so fast that... No, Revenge is no good, because you're not taking a damage, so... Basically... Like, if I want a Revenge ring, that's what I have to take. It's not got a lot of damage, but it might do, because I don't have a better option. And the banners I would need, like, something in, so I feel like I'm going to have to go with that ring. Just to force something. Right, okay. Buffs, debuffs, stats, slots. Take the ring off him. You know, be beneficial to go reflex, but we'll leave it as it is for a second. Let's just see if we can build it first. Let's give this like 5 ac. Because he does need accuracy, right? 344, nice. Longbeard, damage mode on the A2. Again, that. Boom, lower steel, buffs, increase crit rate, increase crit damage, increase accuracy. Stats 310, 345. Slots, we're keeping the ring off him. Sets, glyphs, 4, 15. Yakal, damage on the A2. Configure. 1. Boom. Laura Steel. Nice. Buffs. Increase crit rate, increase crit damage, increase accuracy. Like, we can basically give them all because they're all going to always be attacking under a crit rate buff because of Farrakhan. It doesn't really matter. The only one I'm not going to do it for is Gnut because I'm using them in other content. These 4 champions I'm only ever going to use here. So I might as well put them in the 70% range. 279. Again, 345. We don't need as much. Slots. Can be whatever. Sets. Can be whatever. Glyphs. 4. 5. 15. 7. Did I do Longbeard's glyphs? No, I missed you. You can have 7. And then Gnut, damage, a 3. Bam, bam, bam. We wanted to put him in Law. We're not going to put him in Laura Steel. But we are going to put him in Cycle, crit damage, crit rate. Buffs, not going to have increased crit rate. We'll assume that. We'll assume that. And we need to prioritize. No, we don't want to prioritize defensive stats. Not worried about that. AoE damage reduction. Not worried about that. So stats. He's going to need to be 303. Doesn't need to be 426. I need him to be 345. Do I even need accuracy on him? Yes, I do. Of course I do. What am I talking about? Of course I need accuracy on him. He can have whatever actually, I don't want him to have amulet or ring, right? Because I'm pretty sure my Gnut the Hoot, I'm pretty sure has got good accessories, right? They're not amazing, but they're better than, they're better than anything else that I've got, right? If I look at refresh and I basically take away that, we're looking at probably the best defense ring. I mean, there's options for crit damage that I could go for more resistant HP, but I don't really care about that. I just want the accuracy, which is better here. Is there any banners with triple refresh? I mean, there is a 16 banner. You know, there is a 16 banner for the dwarves. We could proper go triple refresh. You know. If this rolls accuracy. Oh, it's resistance. Oops. Didn't want to do that. I mean, he's going to need speed. I don't think I can get away with 16 speed. I think that's just too low, right? That's just, like, it is just too low. You know, we might have to take this, for example. Be better if I didn't, but I might have to. I could take Morags at 17. But if we look at like the fastest banners that I've got, we order by speed, and we show the slot banner, and we exclude the glyph. It's 21, 17, or 17. So he's pretty much in the fastest possible banner with accuracy, so it's probably not going to change. But I definitely want to keep him in his... I want to keep him in his these two, just so we get double refresh, right? I don't really care about this ring not giving him. Ultimately, defense is not a massive stat for Gnut because his A2 and A1 just sucks for damage. Configure A2 stat slots. We would order that. That's fine. To be honest, I think a banner can be okay, but we'll see what happens, what it comes back with. I'd love him to be in reflex, if I'm being honest. I'm going to be really greedy. I'm going to try and put him in reflex. And then we're going to put him in by 4. Defense percentage 5. I have no idea whether we can build this. We're about to find out. Let's find out, shall we? Night Acrobat. Let's find out. I don't often use the team optimizer, so this is a bit of a good experiment. Oh, in 13 minutes we get to roll the dice to see if we're going to get any more fun stuff from the market. Okay, well, we found builds for every single one of them. No, we didn't find a build for Gnut. Well, that's probably not surprising because I required reflex. We found a 320, 6.8k attack, 266% crit damage Razelvarg. We found a 4.5k attack Farrakhan with 306 speed at 264% crit damage. We found a 309 Longbeard at 4.2k attack at 243% crit damage. A 280, 6.9k attack, 274% crit damage Yakal. And then Gnut wasn't found, but that's because I required something and I can probably rebuild it. Now, how does that compare, right? Let's just pull this up here a second. I'm just going to put this on the second screen. So mine, I'm just comparing it against the runs that were done. So what you want to do, you want to see what the stats come back like. So let's see. Yakal. I know you can't see what I'm doing in a second. I'm just building it. What do we want? Leader. So all we care about is crit damage and attack. So I can see how much damage it's going to do. Obviously on the waves, we're dependent on having like crit rate up all the time, but I don't think that's really a problem. Because I think they'll kill the waves pretty comfortably. Because the waves are squishy as hell. Especially with these kinds of numbers. The waves are going to get frozen up by your Karl's A3 and they're going to be killed, right? Because I assume if we're not using your Karl's A3 on the boss, we can use it permanently on the waves. So it's never really a problem. So we're going to do Rabbit. So what I'm going to do first here. Rabbit. Then we're going to do Farrakhan. Longbeard. And Yakal. And we're going to attack. Crit damage, attack, crit damage, attack. It's also quite good that Rabbit goes a little bit faster because we get more damage that way. Okay, so we just want to do a bit of a comparison here, and then we want to do equals that minus that across the board. Cool. So my Razelvarg is going at 6,838. 266. I mean, if any of them take a hit, we're screwed. 455, 264. 4275. 243. And 6994, 274. Let's just have a look what sets these are in. That's in broken sets by the looks of it. Longbeard is in broken sets. That's in broken sets. I mean, it's taken some weird builds. And then Razelvarg is in... Ironically, none of these builds are in Savage Cruel. It's quite astonishing, really. None of them are in Savage Crawl. Probably because it can't find the builds, maybe. Let's have a look what the save team was. So the save team was 6329288. Farrakhan was 2942199. Longbeard was another Farrakhan at 211. And your Carl was... So I'm much stronger than this dude. Yeah. So I actually need to reverse my sums here. Additional format highlight cells greater than 0 as green. Highlight cells less than 0 red. So my builds are stronger, right? Although we've got to take into account that that's not lethal. I'm surprised, and obviously these are not reflex, right? So it's a big deal. I'm really surprised that it hasn't that it didn't recommend. Oh, it's gonna have to re-optimize now. That's annoying. I need to fix that it saves it from the next time. I'm really surprised that it didn't require your Carl, because I know I've got weaken, but I haven't got decreased defense here. I know I've got like 4% ignore defense, but it's almost like it's ignoring all the defense, which is really strange. Just going to do your Carl as an individual, just in case there's some weird thing going on with Team Optimizer there. Damage Mode Blizzard Rider. It should carry across. Fire Knight. Fire Knight. For the boss on hard, stage 10, with weaken only. It's going to have increased crit rate, increased crit damage, increased accuracy. Stats, we needed him at 279. 345. Slots. Let me have all these back. We didn't want him to have... No, we just let him have whatever he wants. Get rid of that. Slots. Slots, glyphs. +4. +5. +15. Just going to check. Well, it's found 29 trillion builds, so that's a bit of a problem. I just need to pick the banner. It's probably going to be that one. Crit damage in an amulet. Organized by accuracy. Oh, perfect. Love that. Then ring. Just be an attack. Ring. Organized by attack percentage. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Love that. Thank you very much. Optimize slots. Let's take out the banner, the amulet, the ring. We don't want any of those. Hopefully that should find less, but oh, it's still going. Stop. How many is going to find this time? 637 billion. That's better. EHP is a premium feature, yeah. Is Helm Smasher best mastery for Rhonda? Probably Giant Slayer. Unless you're using her in Arena, then Helm Smasher. Yeah, it's not. It's actually, I don't know why. It's saying the better damaging build at these speeds is not Savage Crawl. And I don't know exactly why. I would have thought it would require Savage Cruel. Let's just see what happens if I actually require Savage. There's less damage. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Well, I do have the speed. It's just saying that... Oh, I know why. His A2 ignores 30% defense. So pairing that with the A3 is probably penetrating enough of the defense, it doesn't require it. I'm wondering if that's what's happening. Because the A2 is already decreasing defense, is it going, we don't need as much because we can do that? I wonder what happens if I pick the A1. Does it change it up or does it keep it the same? I mean, it could be that it's just the way that it's calculated, but I would have thought a 6.8k defense without decreased defense on the target, ignore defense is valuable. Yeah. I thought ignore defense is worth it, is it not? I don't know, I would have thought ignore defense is worth it. I could be wrong. I mean, we can run the math, because we can literally just open up this here, and if I say... The boss has got... What's the boss defense? 6276. Right, so 6276 defense. So he's running at... $7,226. $281. And he's not going to be... What sets is he in? Nothing. He's in Phantom Touch. On 3-star. Right, okay, so A1, A2. Let's just check these numbers. Three, it hits 2 times. A2, 10%, 10%, doesn't do that. 6. Obviously the A2 ignores a portion of defense, but we're not going to worry about that. Decreased defense. No. Weaken is active. Attack buff. No. Ignore defense, additive. Boom, boom, boom. So the boss is going to be on. We do have 4% ignore defense. So the boss is going to be on 82% damage reduction. So I would have thought, based on an A1, it's going to do somewhere between 24 to 20. So it's calculating it correctly, right? It's calculating it correctly. 25,000, 42,000. 25,000, 42,000. It's pretty much there or thereabouts. Probably some, like, here or there numbers. Now if I add 34%... That does a lot more damage. So why is it not recommended? I have to bug report it. Yeah, I'm going to have to bug report it. It's not calculating the damage correctly. I need to check why. I know Wolfie was bug fixing a lot of things yesterday. So I'm going to have to check probably tomorrow. What's going on with this? New members? Did someone gift something on? I wasn't paying attention. Why is the bot going crazy? Do we have loads of new members? Why have we got loads of new members and I can't see who they are? It's crazy. Another one? The bot's going mad. Are we done with them? Is there any more members? I don't know who these members are, where they've come from, but thank you, whoever you are. It could be that it's miscalculating the area bonus. I actually cannot stop that from making a noise. It's quite annoying. Juggernaut's a new member. Juggernaut's been a member for ages. The bot's just decided to go crazy. I actually don't know how to stop it. Stream alerts. Have I stopped it now? I don't know why the bot's gone crazy. Okay, I think I've stopped it now if I just hide it. No more noise. There we go. Yeah, everyone apparently is just a new member. I don't know why. Yeah, I'll have to check. Because it definitely feels like it's not calculating ignore defense correctly. So I'll have to check the multipliers when I go into debug mode. But the good news is we can technically hit the speeds even if we can't necessarily hit the raw damage, because even the other speeds weren't in lethal, obviously. So if we can require him to do this in lethal, then it will be better. Right? Even if I force it, right? If I force this to be lethal, let's just try lethal here. It's a bit worse. 6.4k 262, but comparison-wise, it's still stronger. So I can build a team. Obviously, Gnut will need to do on its own, because I can probably, like right now, Gnut is sitting in reflex, right? But there is I have stronger reflex gear. The difference is I wasn't requiring it, right? So if I just do this now, and I give him, that's that, battle. We're doing it in, oh, mind you, I need to be careful about Spider. I don't think it's a problem, though. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's okay if he goes super fast. Don't think it's a problem he goes super fast in Shogun. Because I think he's super fast in Shogun anyway. Weaken, not that. He's going to have no increased crit rate, increased crit damage, increased accuracy. Stats, we needed him to have 303, 245 slots, ring, amulet, sets, reflex, glyphs. It's not in my team. It's not going to be a problem in my team. If you look here, I've programmed it to open with the A1, and even if we get 2 reflexes back to back, so even if we get 2 A3s back to back, we'll still be fine. Because the thing is, we only need 3. If he does 3 A3s, we kill the boss anyway. So even if he did 3 A3 back to back, he'd kill the boss. Even if he doesn't, he'll do 0.45 here. Right, knocks it down. Even if he does a A3 here and then doesn't do an A3 here because an A1, then we are still fine. Because even if he reflexes at this point back to do an A3 here, we're still fine. Yeah? Because even if he doesn't reflex back there, it should be fine because he'll do another 0.45. Then he'll do an A3. It should be fine. If it's not, we just take him out of reflex and put him into standard, right? It's not the end of the world. The key thing is we can get him to 234, but it's a bit low. This is why I was talking about crit rate. Ideally, I'd like to get him higher. If I can get him to like 275. Let's try and balance mode. Stats. Start balanced mode. Stats 275, 100% crit rate, highest priority. See, there we go. We neuter his damage on the still two. I told it 275. Oh, that's as much as we can. Might not be possible. Does this give us crit damage bonus? Please. Well, you suck. I guess this is as good as it's going to get. What's better, 1 minute hard in 6 or 3 minutes hard in Dragon? Probably... It depends how you value your time. The good news is there's no penalty in terms of, like, efficiency going at 6 or 10, other than 10 is going to give you better gear, right? In terms of, like, points, there's not that much difference. So 6 is absolutely fine. How do I get on count takeover? I'm level 90, I'm still having issues with hard modes. You can go to the website. There's a takeovers page. Gives you all the different price offerings. I don't do it myself because I just don't have time. Yeah, like this will give us 305. I mean, if we could put it back into battle mode. A3. Give us 234. I don't think any of these are going to be any better. 234. We just need more crit damage. Sucks to that roll there. I mean, there is another amulet, isn't there? Pretty sure I've got another amulet. Crit damage. Equipped. There is a Trunder amulet. Maybe we get 12% crit damage here. We do? Okay. Alright then. That should change it up. Should push it higher now. Oh wait, hang on, I need to stop. Clear. Give it that. I'm not using A2. So reflex is better. Basically, I just want to get A3 back as quickly as possible. The thing about Fire Knight is the more A3s I do, the quicker that it's going to die. The quicker it dies, the easier it becomes. So as long as we've got adequate A1, so at least we get one A1, then we get back around to the A3. It should be absolutely fine. In that sense, right? As long as there's at least one. Like, it could be that this is absolutely awful and we have to take him out of reflex. It could well be. But the thing is, I also want to use him in places like Shogun, Spider, Hydra. So I don't want to like shoehorn him into Fire Knight hard. Right, that would get us to 246. Now on our damage chart, that would basically mean the first 3 hits are not going to work, right? So it means the first 3 hits will get us to what is this? Ignoring defense. This is with a weaken, right? So this will be 289. Now we are obviously working towards 6% ignore defense. 286. Realistically, He should definitely have that though, shouldn't he? 100% have that. Realistically, we can probably get to 12% ignore defense. So let's assume that we're going to get 12% ignore defense here. So the first hit that he does, he needs to be 277. The second hit that he does, he needs to be 269. And the third hit that he does, he needs to be 260%. So at 246, then the next subsequent one will be enough, basically. So we're not quite capping it out right at the start, but we're very, very close. Now, obviously, if we were maxing out the area bonus, then we've got enough, probably. So I think it's fine. It's probably fine. Okay, so we've got something to build, basically. I don't have time to build it tonight. Ooh, 5 stones. I need to add that to my tracker. Open tracker. All my little trackers that I've got going on here for all the souls. We got stone 5 daily. Login reward daily. Nice. All right, then. Are we going to be disappointed by the silly marketplace? Probably. I'd like to try and build the finite team for tomorrow. There is also some more stuff in here that I've got that I haven't actually had a chance to look through, right? So we've got, for example, some mythical gear. We've got some provoke gear. Got a reflex boots here. We can pick that up, see what's in there. What else have we got going on down here? Provoke sets another reflex helm. At some point, I've got to find the motivation now to actually figure out my Hydra team for Saturday. So tomorrow's going to have to be a very busy day. So much I need to do. The reflex shield. And then we're down to stuff. There could be some like dwarven accessories in here for all I know. There's a dwarf thing here. See, it could be like, this could be like really valuable stuff in here. I actually spent time to clear my goddamn inbox. Any dwarven stuff I've got. I could have a quad roll speed dwarven banner in here for all I know. That's not on a quad roll, so it's fine. Ba-ba-bum. Dwarven. I have no idea why I kept that. It's awful. Let's give it a roll. Where's it going to go? Oh, that's awful. Sell it. Well, there was always hope. I actually just don't want to look at my marketplace because I don't want to be disappointed. Got some savage gear I need to roll here up, you know. Some cool stuff. That's actually quite cool. Where's that going to go? Probably all on HP. It's alright. It's decent. What do we got here? It's not the best, but if it rolls good speed, it's good. Didn't, so I'll sell. What's this? Why have I even got that? It's awful. Sell. You got a 4-star on Eerie. Oof. Cheeky little attack percentage with accuracy. Might be good for clan boss. Anything interesting here? It's basically got to roll all crit rate. It rolled all defense. I mean, if it goes to 12. No, it didn't. It's a waste. Oops. It's kind of low rolled. What else we got going on here? If it goes resistance HP, it's a sell. It's a sell. What we got here? Crit rate. If it goes resistance or HP, it's a sell. Ooh. Yeah, it's probably alright for a HP-based nuker. Yeah, standard speed boots, whatever. Okay. Regular pack. We've put it off long enough. Let's see the disappointment then, shall we? Please be Whisper. It's a 4-star, you can't. It's like, I'm just going to bait you with everything you've just been talking about. Here, have a 4-star Yakal that you can't really afford because 300 essence is like stupidly expensive. Have a 3-star Martial Ed that you can't afford because 120 is not worth it. Is there a Whisper? I just... It's killing me. Just give me... Like, the Whisper 6-star is probably gonna make the difference in Hydra. It's been like 5 weeks now. I've been waiting for it for 5 weeks. Every day. I even stay up till 1 AM most of the time to check it in case I oversleep sometimes. And I don't get on the game early enough. Like 300 essence is just way too expensive. Do you know how much 300 essence is in coin? Like 300 essence in coin is basically 15,000 eternal coins. 15,000, right? That is equivalent of pulling 50 immortal soul stones. 50 of these bad boys. Like, seriously. 50. $50 immortal soul stones. That's how much that is. How much that Cantress also costs. 50. What's the expected time for specific soul? Someone worked out the math. I think they said for legendary 6-star soul coming into your Mystic Mark is about 6 months. Wait, can be at the worst case, or you see it a couple of times in 6 months. I don't know exactly. I mean, the thing is, this system is really good. Like, for me, in my level of account, this is the only portal that matters. I will say, I will be doing a bit of commentary on this wish list. I've done a bit of the odds and mathematics around it recently, and it is awful. It's so bad. It makes it sound like it's going to give you times 2 the chance to get a ninja. It really doesn't. It gives you like a 0.001% chance. Extra. So bad. Like, cat, what is going on? Do you mind not sticking your butt in the air? Oh, honestly. It's like, every day is a disappointment. You know, you can see I've got the essence ready to go. You know, I can make 20. I've got the essence. I'm good to go. I'm ready for it. Just give it to me in the market. I am ready to go. Like, seriously, please, just drop it in. Put it right there. Look, nobody gives a damn about a blimming Zelatar. Although a Pestilus could be interesting, but you know, I mean, just because of Hydra. Yeah, Eternal. That was from ET, though. That was from Scratch's clan. Someone got extremely lucky. I mean, it's very, very incredibly low chance, but I mean, you know. Am I going to drop an in-depth analysis on how bad the Mythic system is? Honestly, the only thing that's bad about the Mythic system is the ability to get mythical shards. These numbers on their own are actually quite good. If they actually valued the Primal Shard at a little bit above an Ancient Shard, right? So I just updated the pack off a calculator today, right? And I valued a Primal Shard at around about $3. So if they actually sold Primal Shards at a rate of about $3 per shard, I don't think the system is bad. Because you're getting double the odds of a normal Ancient Shard with a chance to get a Mythical Shard. You can buy them if you want or not, right? If they actually... And again, I think the biggest problem with the Primal system is they've introduced it before essentially the systems are ready, right? They've pretty much said, without saying it, which I think is a bit of a mistake, that getting mythical books, getting primal quartz, getting primal shards is going to be tied to this major content release that they've got coming. So it basically means they were like, ooh, these champions are ready. Why don't we just release the champions in game and start selling primal shards to make some money? And nobody over in Playroom HQ thought, well, are people going to be annoyed by the fact they can't actually farm the shards yet? Oh, they'll be fine. They're not going to complain about it at all. What are you talking about? They'll be absolutely okay with it. It's all going to be hunky-dory. And that's fundamentally what they've done, is they've released the content because 5 champions are ready, where the system's not going to make sense until probably a patch later when they actually add this major content release that I think is going to tie up the system a little bit better. I think that's where you're going to be able to get some mythical books. That's where you're going to get more primal quartz, where you might get some more primal shards, you know, where you can actually acquire these in-game. Are they going to be like available massively? Probably not massively, but at least they're, you know, you can acquire them right now. Like, I mean, to be fair, like they haven't, not to be fair, but like shockingly, they haven't even said, oh, by the way, you can only buy mythical tomes. They haven't even confirmed anything. They've literally, all the messaging we've ever had about these mythical tomes are, oh, we made a new book for these champions. It's like, cool. Why? You know, you haven't said, you know, they haven't even confirmed specifically that you'll be able to get them in the major content release. I think you will be able to. So. But I expect next patch we'll get another 5 mythical champions. I think now we'll get probably a couple of batches of mythical champions. I think the next patch will get the major content release with the new mythical champion that everyone's going to be able to get, and maybe a couple more mythical champions. And then I think every update they'll probably add 1 to 2 mythical champions after that. And eventually they'll introduce more ways to get these primal shards. Because if you think about it, when Clan XP came out, we did all the math and we were sitting there and going, it's going to take years to get your clan level up. Then they released Hydra with Clan XP. Then they released personal clan versus clan with more clan XP. And now most clans are maxed out because they give you so much in clan XP. Same thing with clan gold. Originally, we were all fighting over clan quests because they're like, well, you know, we can't get enough clan gold for everything that we want. Then they added clan gold to Hydra. Then they've added it to Hydra Clash, you know. And then they added it to clan versus clan. So now we've got loads of clan gold, and they'll do the same thing with these primal shards and primal quartz. Sure, it's a bit stupid the way that they've implemented it. Do I actually think the way they've implemented it is appropriate? Absolutely not. I think they're tone deaf, and I don't think they've listened to the community whatsoever. I think they're still not listening to the community, and they've not reacted very well, and like just randomly dropping a guaranteed seer after times 10 Siffy with no news whatsoever until on the day. These sorts of mistakes shouldn't happen for like a developed studio with a good community and a good customer base, with like people specifically employed to manage the community. You shouldn't make those kind of mistakes anymore, which means it's not a mistake, they did it on purpose. But I do think, you know, give it 3 months, the primal system will have more accessibility. The question will be, did they lose their community by the time they got there? That'll be the actual like reality here. By the time they reach that point, have they lost the community because of the stupidity that they've done with all their mistakes? We'll have to see. Only time will tell, you know. I need a weekend in here. It's probably fine if I do that. You know, I like the cadaver thing. It's like this. They've come out and they said, well, we don't want to nerf the champion. Okay, principally, that's a fair position to hold. The problem is, there is physically, you know, sometimes you have to accept there isn't a solution. There physically isn't a solution to this cadaver problem that doesn't involve nerfing someone, right? Okay, so you don't want to ruin the rare. Fine. Well, you need to adjust Brogni. Well, that's nerfing Brogni. Okay, you don't want to nerf Brogni. Okay, then you need to nerf cadaver. Or we don't want to nerf either of them. Well, something is gonna have to give here, because it's just not like it's not going to work. Like, someone has to be nerfed. Is there overpriced void shards? No, I don't think these are overpriced. I think these are quite common. If you think the best void pack that comes out is like 24 voids for $49, but it only comes out every other day for like whales. These are quite common void packs, for being honest. This is what I normally expect, because normally you'd never buy these. It's normally the pack string and the 24 for $49 or $59, I think it is. You know, I wouldn't buy them. It's just the shadiness of it that they didn't tell you in advance, really. Well, that secret room lasted long, didn't it? It's a shame we're getting nothing out of these. As I said, I absolutely 100% think you'll be able to farm a mythical tome. How long it will take you until you can get that and how many you can get is another question. I would say, though, do you even need mythical tomes? The champion works without them. You don't need them. You know? I'm about to have my 5th primal shard from... Yeah, I'm going to get it as well, Green Virus, because I'm probably going to win mine because I've got a lot of energy to burn tomorrow. It's the little things, like what they did is they basically put primal shards in all the pay-to-win content. That's kind of like the annoyance. They have this mentality at the moment where they can't give the player base a crumb, right? It reminds me of Oliver when he goes up to the table and say, "Can I have some more?" And they're like, "No, you can't. You're not. Even though you're starving, you're not." Like it's like they go out of their way to even find ways to like make it worse. Like the whole Deck of Fates thing where they took one of the epic cards away. Why? What possible value do you have in making 9 epic cards instead of 10? Where is the like improvement in the experience for players? Where is the improvement in the system? You just done it to annoy people and reduce the chance of getting a triple epic. That's all you've done. Like, just leave it be. Like, give us a little bit. Like, you know, just... I'm not asking for much. You know, I'm not asking for, like, world peace. All I want is for players to just have a little bit of the ounce of the pie. I understand that they want to try and maximize profits. I think everyone who plays the game understands the game needs to make money. The problem is the way that they're making money is basically like, you know, scraping every ounce of like free rewards out of the game. What's a good price point for energy to you? I think actually the energy packs are quite good. The amount of energy packs we have in the game. The offers they do for energy packs are some of the best. It's the only thing I buy, really. The only thing I buy these days is energy packs, so I can play the game more. And when they do the Soulstone offers, where it's 2 for 1. Where it's 2 tier 1s for $1. Other than that, I don't really buy anything. I don't buy the monthly pack. I buy the gem pack, obviously, because that's a subscription thing, right? Whatever. Other than that, I just don't bother. Single affinity. I should be able to just win like this. I should just be able to win like this, he says. Yeah, it should be fine. Get rid of you. Okay, we got petrified. I actually could die here. Mithrala's no joke. That heal is going to be big. Might as well boost. Can we take away some more buffs? Oh. Oh, we can kill him at least. Boost. Now we got to fight the Mithrala. And hope we don't die whilst we're fighting Mithrala. Please don't petrify. Please don't petrify. Please don't petrify. Oof. Could have happened. 3%. Oh. What my Bommel hard team was, I'll show you what it is now. It was scuffed. That's what it was. basically in life now in Raid, there's a common principle when you approach content, right? It's very straightforward. It's build a team around just one champion in the game. Ugh. Can we just kill the boss, please? Oh, I just want to kill Mithrala, please. Oh my god, I just want to kill Mithrala. Come on. There we go. Oh, that was painful, that was. Let's see. Perception. Ooh, legendary cell. Okay, nice. So, how does one beat Bommel? Well, it's quite straightforward, really. What you do is you get yourself a few bombs, right? And you get yourself a Gnut. So what you do is you come in here, right? You go in here and you go, oops, I made a mistake there. Should not do that. We don't want to do auto. We basically come in here and we go, you know, just kill these off. Just use that, it's fine. Do that. Made a mistake there. It's not a problem. Do that. Should be fine. There we go. These are a little bit awkward, not gonna lie. Because, you know, for some reason, some infinite bright spark at Plarium put frigging Coronars on the wave. Luckily, we can just one-shot the wave. Right, so what you do is you come to the boss, okay? You go ally attack. You know, hopefully you get a weaken out. We didn't, which kind of sucked. Got really bad luck. You come in here with a Gnut, you just kind of bash it to death. It's like really the worst run possible because we didn't get a weaken. Then you're meant to do like bombs. And then like maybe you get another bomb here. Just throw that out there. Get some decreased defense, right? Should be fine though because we just go in again. We actually had a bad luck here. Let's try again. We had like really bad RNG, right? Let's just drop this down. What you really want to do is you want to get it so that oof. Oh, got close. Nice. You want to get it so that there's a weaken. So we got really unlucky with this time. Yeah, so we just kill that. And then we come in here. Now, hopefully this time it's better. We go ally attack. That lands weaken. There you go. Maybe a bomb or two. There we go. That's nice. And then Gnut just comes in and goes, you know what? I'm just going to casually, like, bash it to pieces. Then we just throw more bombs at it. Tell you what, let's throw another bomb at it. And it's over. Because even though it's not dead, pretty much is dead. There we go. That's how you do it. If you need to beat anything, you just put something with Gnut. He's such a strong champion. It's a bit disgusting. Gnut just basically nukes everything in the game now. You know, if you want to go kill Shogun, it's fine. Just bring your Gnut. One, two, three. Boom, boom. Boom. It's like, oh no, we got enfeeble. What are we going to do? We're just going to go. Oh, we're actually unlucky that time. I mean, to be fair, Whisper's kind of like ruining him as well. boom, boom, boom. If you want to kill Spider hard, what do? You bring Gnut. You see what I'm saying about the world, right? Yeah, you need bombs, right? So you basically, the way that you do it is you just need to make sure you cap out the Gnut. And as long as the Gnut is capping out and you get like a couple of bombs, you should be fine. Soul Reap helps on Gnut as well, right? Just to basically get you through the last bits if he doesn't quite one-shot something. But that's what you need to do. You need to basically get a few bombs. And if you notice, you don't need Baron. The only reason why I'm using Baron is his aura, right? Is wave clear and aura. So you basically need someone who's got wave clear. Someone with ideally an attack aura to just help your Gnishak. I will say my Gnishak here is, he's unbooked, see? He's totally unbooked. So, you know, you probably don't even need much here. Gnishak's like 7.4k attack. Longbeard is just running at around about 286 speed. Just A3, yeah. So, but it doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is get an ally attack. You want Arbiter, because Arbiter lands a weaken on the A1. That's 25% more damage for the bombs. Then you just got to RNG a little bit, right? You need Gnishak to land like at least 3 bombs in there. Gnut's going to take like 30% away. Baron will top up a little bit of damage. And then as long as you've got enough bombs, like if my Gnishak was booked, it would be 100% every single time, right? But I'm not getting these 2 bombs all the time. I'm not landing these because I haven't booked him. So you just need to basically get a little bit of bombs, get the Gnut's full A3, and then boom. Doesn't even matter if some of the dread bombs take a turn or the boss takes a turn. You eventually kill it. And again, you only have to beat it once, right? So you don't need to farm it. It doesn't need to be like a perfect speed turn. You just have to beat it and get on with it. Because you're going to farm Dark Fae on this rotation. You're not going to farm anything other than Dark Fae because that's just silly. Dark Fae is way too good. No, I don't play jungle in League of Legends. Did you finish a hard K team and why not Creedon? I don't actually have Creedon. Arctic. I've been trying to get Creedon. I haven't got it. Yeah, Renegade. That's all you need to do. Get some bombs out with Gnishak. If you haven't got Gnishak, I think the bomb girl does it well. The new one. The redhead. She does it quite well. She's a good substitute for Gnishak if you don't have him. You want one of those two because their bombs deal twice as much damage to the boss, so it's quite a lot more. Yeah, I don't have Creedon, so what's my Baron built like? It's built pretty strong. I'll show you now. Baron is built 5-star. He's in lethal, cruel. 6.8k attack, 288% crit damage, 191 speed. Just need someone to wave clear, really. Yeah, Fergun is Bale is the other one. Booked. He's in flawless at the moment. Naturally, because this ignores so much defense, I don't need more ignore defense. So Helm Smash is not as valuable. So I just prefer the more consistency. I have Gnishak and Gnut. I need the better gear left. Attack percent, basically. Just need more attack. Gnishak is a bit one of those silly builds. You basically just want more and more attack. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like wearing like attack gloves. He's wearing attack amulets. He's wearing like triple roll attack cruel with no speed. This is why sometimes, this is where gear hoarding does pay off better for me, because I'll have weird pieces that a lot of people would have sold that I'll keep because maybe one day I need to build something, or maybe one day I need this built. So I can build some really obscure, crazy builds to make it work. It's a shame, really. I didn't invest more in Fire Knight Hard, because I'm actually going to be able to build this new team with far less stats than probably the people that were running it have got. So essentially the area bonuses are going to make my team even stronger when I get it done. So yeah, everyone was saying that the Deck of Fates was really good, and I was like, is it though? Because you're going to get 28 artifacts. I've sold half of them already, and you get less chance of getting like epics. You know, people might go, oh, it's only one epic card. It didn't make a difference anyway because you couldn't match him. Like, well, it does because it's reduced the risk. It's reduced the loss chance, you know, the bad RNG by quite a lot. So you've basically got 30% less chance than you had before of getting a 5 in a row. It's a lot. It's a massive difference. You know, it's basically 1/3 more difficult to get a 3 in a row. I know it was always 1 point, is like 1%, but I don't want to see it go down. That's just bad. You know, it's a stupid idea. I personally think we should have got double the amount of artifacts for the amount of investment. And I personally think we should have got those 10 epic cards. I mean, if you are going to take away an epic card, at least put it into the rare pool, for God's sake. Like, don't put it to the worst possible rarity. Oh, we've got live arena. We are very close. Oh, actually, we're not. I thought we were a lot closer to gold. I thought 2600 was gold. Actually, we're quite far away from gold. That's nice, actually. It means we can keep farming people for a while. So what I'm going to try and do with my era bonuses is just get them all up as much as I can, because all of these bonuses are a big deal. Like, 80 accuracy is a big deal. If I can just get some of these all up to gold, like, probably this is the main one I really need to get up to, like, level 6. It will make a big difference. We already saw the big difference these stats gave in clan boss building. If I can get it in Fire Knight now, that would be really good. I bought a few cheeky ones for the Dragon contest, but it didn't matter because it was a $6 rate. I don't really care about these anymore. Unless we can manual the clan boss, I can't see that I'm going to be able to manual the Hydra. I can't see I'm going to be able to win the Hydra contest. It's just too difficult with Whisper. So yeah. Anyway, guys, it is nearly 2 in the morning. Oh, Lord. This is the problem when you stream later. I'm never going to get rid of this one bronze medal, am I? I'm going to be permanently stuck with one bronze medal for the rest of my raid existence. Honorary member. I am probably going to be winning this Primal Shard. I've stopped doing the Fire Knight because I want to see if I can build this team, but I will probably kick back on soon and try and win this Primal Shard. I'll probably also complete this Dungeon Divers tomorrow as well. It's a good time to do it while Fire Knight is active. You know, and I will probably tomorrow pull the Primal Shards and we'll do a bit of content around is a Primal Shard worth it, and we'll see what we get. I mean, I might as well pull it when there's a ×2. Why else would I not pull it? Maybe I'll get a mythical. I doubt it. Can you imagine someone actually bought enough to make a 10 pull? Crazy is that? Yeah, I got 30 quartz. Thanks, Hydra Clash. Stupid system. Anyway, guys. Get into gold. I'm climbing now. I probably will be investing gems a little bit to try and get some more era bonuses. Because even if I can just get up to like silver, like having 12 speed, 18% crit damage, 48 accuracy, 12% ignore defense is going to help a tremendous amount. So, you know. If I did get a mythic, by the way, I definitely don't want Siegfried. I would probably want Garrel. This would be the one that I want the most. If I was to get a mythical. If I could dream of a specific mythical champion, it would be this one. Because this, in my opinion, is a monstrous hit. These two forms would be absolutely horrific to fight. It would literally be... I'd put this into my team, and it would replace probably Fenax. Oh, it'd probably replace Vlad, and I'll just constantly just keep whacking it to death because this is nuts. Right? It's just nuts. And this will eventually just obliterate people. And the good thing is, it's anti-lockout. Why? Because it's secondary form. So if a lockout happens, it's like, don't worry, I'm just going to transform into my secondary form and start smashing you to pieces. Don't worry about it. It's great fun. If not him, definitely Gimli, right? If we can't have the Orc, I want Gimli. This is just monstrous. That's just monstrous. Imagine decreasing all of the Hydra's accuracy by 50%. Think of the power of that. Yeah, but he was also playing it wrong. He wasn't really finding the optimal setup. It's difficult to find the optimal setup for Garrel, and it's difficult to do it on a live stream on a first play test, but I have a pretty clear way you would set it up. Basically, what you would do, if you wanted to maximize Garrel, yeah, is you would run this with a Cardiel, Duchess, Emic team, right? So you'd basically run Cardiel, Emic, Duchess, Garrel, and you would try and get your Emic to go super, super, super fast, and you'd make the Emic load up in 9 out of 9 protection, super, super, super fast, and you would launch with your unkillable taunt, right? So it puts unkillable on Garrel. You would then probably... I'm trying to think of the best way to set this up. Because all you need to do is you just need her to be alive to transform. It doesn't matter if you lose some buffs, because you're only going to lose one turn, right? As long as they're on for 2 turns, this still works. What he was doing is he was applying a buff, then not activating it in the right way. He was just not quite activating in the right process. As long as there's a 2-turn buff on the target, by the time they do this, yeah, they would go, okay, transform. Unkillable means I'm on 0% HP, which means this is now maximized because I'm getting 100% multiplication. Then I'm also getting all those buffs. Cardiel, increased crit rate, increased crit damage. Duchess gives me increased attack, block debuffs, and veil, that's 5. Emic gives me a shield, that's 6. Emic gives me unkillable, that's 7. Cardiel gives me revive on death if I've built it in a way, that's 8. So we got 80% bonus damage, and we ignore 30% target's defense. Splat. Savage Cruel, 60%. Splat. This becomes the hardest hitting ability in the game, in my opinion. You just have to have the right setup. If you find the right team for it, it's absolutely humongous. It's stronger than Terras's A3. Even when Terras is like 34 buffs, it's stronger. If you can get it in the right frame of mind, the right window, with the right amount of passive reduction, with the right setup, it's absolutely perfect. It's really, 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 really strong. Yeah, you get 20% from the Emic passive as well. So basically, you're getting a 80% multiplication on a 99% multiplication, on a 20% multiplication, on a 20% book multiplication that ignores 60% of the target's defense. Splat. It doesn't matter Nexard because it's dealing so much damage that even if it weak hits, it probably one-shots everything. My damage estimates has this around about 246,000 on my index, and that, to put into context, is around about the same amount of damage that you would expect to get from a Gintoro A3 when it 5 hits, but instead of 5 hits, 4 hits. I think that's the way I worked it out. He can basically get 4 hits. It's about 4 hits of a Gintoro A3 AoE. It's so big. And then what you get is, even if you don't finish everyone off, every time your champion joins, there's a 25% chance. Just jumping in constantly, and that has a 20% chance of repeating. So you get like follow-up damage on follow-up damage on follow-up damage. Garrel for me is the best of the mythics. Such a strong nuker. It's oppressive. You'll never get a turn with it. It'll just keep killing you constantly. If you put Garrel in Life Harvest, good lord. It'll just be oppressive. You'll never get a turn. What were you saying? I like to know if you can out-damage Acrizia and Hydra. How does he out-damage Acrizia and Hydra? How does he out-damage Acrizia and Hydra? That's not bad, but he's never going to kill an enemy. He's never going to kill an enemy, or A1. Right. Razzlevarg passive. But it's not. Because he's only ever going to walk in with like 100,000 HP, so he gets 100 bonus crit damage. He doesn't get 500% crit damage. I don't know where you're getting that from. Because you can't stack his passive. You're not killing an enemy. You're never killing a Hydra. When you kill a Hydra head, you don't kill an enemy. It doesn't count. So you never get this secondary component, unfortunately. That's the downside. You have to kill something. You can't kill anything in Hydra. He's probably a decent damage dealer. He's better in this form in Hydra because of this reflect. This reflect is monstrous. Keep in mind, reflect can reflect effects like brimstone, like phantom touch. But the fact you get ally protection and killable on himself, a massive shield on all allies, you know, massive equalize HP on a 3-turn cooldown, increase, he'll never die, and he'll be like, he drops the accuracy. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's like, can you actually build up enough, like, damage? Because he's HP based, and then he's got, like, it's not bad. It's okay. I don't think he's that crazy, though. If you can get kills on him, he scales to infinity. It's really, really good. You got to get kills on him, though. This just is pointless to me, because you're never going to be able to produce a scenario in which you can metamorph, so it's not that good. What's the other ones? Mesamol is actually not bad. You know, YST's one. It's actually quite good. This is irrelevant. Doesn't hit hard enough. Only good into Necret teams. This is okay. It's fine. Alternate form is better. This is really good in alternate form. It's a pretty good wave clear champion, this. This is a wave clearing champion. Probably rips up a little bit in a thing, but it's a bit of a sheep magnet for arena. Don't know what the last one is. It Barbarian? Sylvan. An Arbaeus. I don't really know about this one. It's kind of okay. It's a good support carry. Stone Skin's kind of annoying. It'll be annoying to kill in arena, but I don't really think it's a bit like Ultimate Death Knight. It'll be annoying to take down, but it isn't really gonna like make a big difference. The aura is better for that champion more than anything else. Anyway, guys, I am gonna go. Which factions at the moment? Sylvan Watchers, Orcs, Sacred Order, Skinwalkers, and Dwarves. I'd imagine we're going to get a few more next batch. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back Saturday for the Hydra. Hopefully everyone's agreed to make it manual. That would be better. Yeah, she's a great support, Swifster. I agree. She's a great support. She'd be really annoying in arena. She's a great support for Hydra because you get like the fill, increase attack, increase accuracy, revive on death. You can increase the duration. You can remove buffs. You know, the A1's a bit pointless. Secondary form in Hydra is okay. That's really kind of pointless. That's good, but it's not crazy. You know, it's not like she's doing anything more like... I wouldn't replace her from a Neck Muthar, for example. You know, I think Sulfurian's better than her for the burn, leech, and healing. I think Sulfurian's a better carry. And I always thought Sulfurian wasn't that great. So, as in, like, wasn't amazing. So, kind of puts you where it is. So, yeah, we'll see whether or not we're manual in Hydra. If not, but tomorrow I've got to basically build the teams out. So, I'm going to have to start prepping tomorrow. Figure out if I can figure a way to beat the damn thing. So, yeah, we'll find out. Anyway. Yeah, I'm warming to Sulfurian. But what I mean is, like, Sulfurian is actually quite a lot better than her. At that role. So, anyway. Night, guys.